This is Steve Downs, the voice of Master Chief, Sierra 117, and you're watching Xbox Ultimate. Now, finish the fight. Chief out.
Hey, what is up, everybody? We are live. I think we are live anyway. I think it's working. Hi, how are you doing, chat? Thank you for being here nice and early. Oh, I'm getting feedback on somebody's.
Somebody's got feedback. Yeah.
Hi, how are you? Maybe it's Pong Soul. Hey, what's up, Pong? I know you're having audio issues.
Not me.
Not you?
Me.
Okay.
No, he wasn't lighting up.
No. Hey, hello. It's gone.
Yeah, so it was Lupa.
It was a mystery. Hey, I want to thank everybody hanging out here in the chat. You guys are freaking awesome. Ready to get the show started. Pong Soul had some technical difficulties. We got him just in the nick of time for the show. So we are super excited to have an amazing show today for all of you. There's been it's been an interesting week in the world of Xbox and gaming. So we got our what I like to call the Magnificent Seven here, and we're gonna talk about it all, and we'll talk about Kojima and all that stuff. But first, we want to do some intros real quick. And as you always know, first in my heart is my lovely wife, Kaitlin. How's it going, baby?
Going good. I want to say thank you to the people in the chat that were complimenting the intro.
Yeah. So that's a new intro we worked on. Kate did a lot of it, and 3-Bit helped with some of the coloring stuff, and I did some stuff, and it came together. So hey, let us know what you think if you like that, and we'll keep working on stuff to get the show better. Also, you can notice maybe the sound is a little different. I'm trying to get better with all that stuff, so let me know if there's any technical difficulties, because I'm trying some new stuff, and it's gonna, if it works out, it's gonna allow me to do some fun things. So after my beautiful wife Kaitlin, we also have two other ladies here today, and I will start with Lady AF. How's it going, lady? What's up?
It's going good. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited for Friday fun and the topics that we have. So excited. We're doing it. I love the intro, Kaitlin. Absolutely. And 3-Bit. Thanks for adding the orange into my name. I saw it.
I saw that. I'm the one that made the. Okay, I'm just kidding. No, it's okay. Hey, it's okay. No, they get the credit.
That other guy.
They deserve all the credit. Then we also have the extraordinary assassin Lupa. What's up, Lupa? How's your day been?
Hey, I'm excited. It's not been bad. I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be fun. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for coming out and listening to us peeps. And I can't wait to get started. Love you all. Right
on. I am super glad again that you're back. It's three. We just have.
We're gonna say it every week.
Just like the show. I am going to say it every week. I love this. I put the little family thing at the beginning of the intro because we have developed this family atmosphere here that's just freaking rocks, and it you can really feel when somebody's missing, So 3-Bit, what's up, dude? How's it going, man?
Hey, I am back podcasting. So
yeah, you've been busy.
It's been a busy week for sure, but I'm glad to be back with you guys, and there's a lot of interesting stuff that happened with Kojima, and I have not been able to talk about it, except in chat while I'm working. I just been but excited to get through some of these topics. It's always good to be with this awesome panel. guys are love you guys. So let's get into it.
You had no option other than to show up.
Yeah.
You had no other option.
They were
And you
saying,
have no other option than to love us too.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's
today was been an interesting day on Twitter. Also, just like with all the PlayStation stuff going on right now, it's like it's on fire. It's crazy. Pong, how's it going, dude? What's up, man?
Hey, if anybody ever wonders why I'm a console guy only, okay, this is why. Computer updates and then nothing wants to work. So that's why I will always be console guy. But anyways, happy Friday, everybody. Is it not working? Are we having?
No, it's work. You saw my face. It's working.
You had a little bit of static, but you're good. You're fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Just like,
Don't start with me.
No, it's okay.
Do what I want.
It's okay.
You're fine.
is this a flashback to like 2 or 3 weeks ago? I'm getting deja vu right now.
I've got PTSD, and you guys are bringing it all back. Right
It
now.
sounds better right now. I'm not hearing the
Sounds
crackles. Yeah.
Okay.
Little
All
3-bit.
Oh, there was a little bit right there.
Okay. Well, happy Friday, everybody. Awesome long week. Glad to be here. Love you all. Chat looking amazing out there already. So you know what? We got a lot of topics. Hopefully my mic keeps working and we'll get through this show. But otherwise, let's have a good one.
Yeah. And what are we gonna do, guys, if his mic stops working when he's talking and he's in one of his rants? We're not gonna say anything. We're just gonna nod.
You better let me know. If I go back and listen to this show,
nod your head.
I agree.
If I go back and listen to this
Great
show
points.
and there's mic problems and nobody told me, that's
what
it.
was that, Pong? Are you saying something?
Why do you only have mic problems here? That's the real question.
I
don't
know.
know.
It's like what's Boom?
That is a really
sus there, Pong.
that is
math.
a really good game.
Math
Pong.
side of things.
I love
I
that
guess.
game. That's a great game.
We're going to play the ping
Good
pong
one.
king.
And then we have the mellow fellow from outer space, my man Psychonauts. What's up, dude? How you doing, man?
What's up, everybody? It's been an exciting freaking week so far, so I can't wait to get into some of these topics and, let's end this weekend with a bang. Get
Yes.
to it.
Let's end this with a bang. I see so many awesome people in the chat.
Hey, Boom.
Yeah. Got trophy
shout
room
out to
up in
Boom,
here.
Midway. Hey, yeah, is that Mr. Badbit that's on the trophy room?
Yeah.
Bad bit?
think so.
Hey, bad bit.
What's up? What's up, everybody? Cloud.
Everybody, boo Joe. Boo Joe.
I won't
you guys
boo you, Joe.
guys are awesome. You guys are freaking awesome. So appreciate you being here again. So this has been, like I said, an interesting day on Twitter. Interesting day with freaking Xbox the last couple days and PlayStation today. So, but this is the Xbox show, so we won't go into too much of the PlayStation stuff that's happening. But there is something that is involving PlayStation in a roundabout way, and that is the rumor that came out. What was it? 2 days ago now? Was it yesterday? I don't know. It seems like yesterday. But there was a big rumor started by Jeff Grubb that Xbox was in deep discussion, possibly finish line type discussion, to have to publish Hideo Kojima's next game. And that sent shockwaves to the internet. Like we said before, like when Xbox is time to shine, they go on a stage, sometimes they falter, but just like with this regular news and rumor stuff, it's just constant fire right now. And Kojima is kind of like, for a lot of fans on PlayStation, they just kind of see him as one of their creators in a way, even though he doesn't work for Sony or anything. It's just like he's made a lot of games that have been identifiable on Sony platforms, including Death Stranding, Metal Gear games that used to only be on PlayStation and eventually made their way over to Xbox and stuff as well. So for a lot of people, this is kind of like a big thing, with potentially his next game possibly being Xbox exclusive, not being on a PlayStation platform. And some people don't like that, right? I think personally, like, as long as you have access to play the game, it's going to be cool either way. I think it's going to be a huge thing for Xbox to be able to potentially grab an audience that ignores Xbox right now, the audience that thinks, hey, this is going to be the place where you we don't have anything to play for them, right? There's a certain audience out there that is just a super fans of those style of games that we could potentially capture those to Xbox, right? Those fans to come in and subscribe to Game Pass and try out that game on the Xbox ecosystem. So I think that's why they would be doing this. Hey, let's start with Pong and I know he's going to talk for 15 minutes about this.
I'll stop him, don't worry.
and I want to get his thoughts before his mic stops working. So, let's let you kick off the conversation, Pong. What does Kojima possibly mean for Xbox?
Oh, it's huge.
Yes, I love it. Pong,
stupid.
This is the new Pong soul. Hey, everybody. Pong has learned to keep his comments short and brief. This is a first here on Xbox Ultimate. Okay, I know you got more.
All right, so Kojima, what does this mean overall? It's obviously you want any kind of, the more talent you can bring underneath the umbrella of Xbox, the better. So Kojima is still a name, whether you agree that, some people think he's overrated. Some people just don't like his games. The fact is he's got a fan base that absolutely loves and adores him. And, you can like some of his stuff, you can not like some of his stuff, but at the end of the day, he draws people in. And that's really what they need to do to make Game Pass even bigger, and they're growing right now, and that's the whole point. So you have to have a diversity of content that appeals to people everywhere, whether it's Asian, the east side of things, whether it's the west side of things, whether it's Europe. It doesn't matter. You got to have that content that appeals to everybody, and Kojima is one of the biggest names in the industry that still would draw that in. So I think that this is obviously something that Phil's been working on for a long time. It's not the first time Kojima's been with Xbox. He's appeared on stage before, and obviously Phil, is one of those guys. He goes out and he's going to develop relationships. And I think this is a relationship he's been developing for a long time. And when it comes down to it, Kojima 2 years ago in 2019 had an interview in which it was with a Japanese publication, I believe, Nike. And he described how he had a giant new idea that he wanted to use cloud and streaming services to produce. And he had this great idea. And I think that's part of what he was working on with Stadia, or in talks to work with Stadia when they kind of nixed it. So I think, why wouldn't he come back over to Xbox? Xbox has the biggest, cloud streaming service right now. So why would he not? I think that's going to be part of the deal. Now, the other part of the deal, and something fun to think about, is that we all know that there's been some smoke that Konami IPs are available, whether for full purchase or whether to license out. So, with the way Microsoft's going right now, why would you not go grab, some of those Konami IPs like, Metal Gear maybe, and say, hey, Kojima, if you want to come over here, you know what? We'll let you do your project. We'll let you do your pet project if that's the horror game or whatever you want to do. But at the same time, we'd also like you to, maybe finish off Metal Gear the way you want to.
Yeah.
Again, we don't know how Kojima feels. We don't know if he wants to work with his old babies anymore. I assume he does, because he left Konami not on good terms. He didn't really get to see his vision through. So most creatives would like to see that vision through. Again, all you're going to do is put more eyes on Game Pass, xCloud, Xbox in general, and you're going to draw attention to it with something like a Kojima showing up and making an exclusive game for your platform. And that's the most important thing. So again, at the end of the day, that's what needs to happen. Again, I hope it gets done. So yeah, and if my mic's not working, I'm divorcing you all right now.
We were just listening the whole time.
I'm taking my ball and I'm going home.
So here's a
good point.
Definitely good thoughts. I'm anticipating that game coming out as well. I'm just kidding. Pong, Konami, I think likes money, right? And if you like money, if you're Konami, and you know that, hey, maybe you could do that licensing deal or whatever for Metal Gear and Microsoft potentially, right? And you don't even have to fund the game. They know Metal Gear would be freaking huge. It could just be like we know that Konami is shut down their in-house studios, right? So their whole thing was either license out or find third-party devs to make stuff. If they could completely work with Xbox or maybe sell the IP to Xbox one way or another. But the question is would that interest Kojima? I think it would, right?
Absolutely. I mean, the guy is one of the greatest. Again, no matter what you think about him, the guy is a creative genius, and you don't let that kind of talent go. Again, I know some people describe him as a movie guy who just so happens to make video games. That's fine. He pushes the industry forward. He tries things that a lot of people would, never risk. And for me, you got to celebrate those people, even if you don't like what they put out. Like, again, Death Stranding, I never bought it for PlayStation. It didn't seem like a game that would appeal to me. Now, if it showed up in Game Pass one day, would I try it? Of course, I'd probably try it out. But, I do enjoy Metal Gear. But at the same time, you have to celebrate these people, because we can't all be doing the same thing in the game industry all the dang time. That doesn't do anything for anybody. And it's undeniable that Kojima has a huge imagination, and he comes up with some crazy ideas. Some of them work, some of them don't. It's a roll of the dice if you're going to make a deal with Kojima, but it's a risk that you have to take, because simply if you're trying to grow a service like Game Pass, you're trying to expand beyond your normal boundaries, beyond your normal borders, and you're trying to get into markets that you've never been able to get to. And you've got somebody like a Kojima who is big somewhere else, and he still does hold weight over there. It may not be the same as it used to be, but he still does hold weight. You got to go for it, and you roll the dice, and you see what he comes up with. And Microsoft is basically, if you look at it, really the only game in town, that could take a risk on a Kojima. Sony was not happy with the results that they got from Death Stranding. That was obvious. They didn't make the money they thought they were going to off a Kojima game. But you know what? Microsoft doesn't care. Microsoft can do this. They can give him an open, they can give him all the resources he needs, give him the time that he needs, let him go wild, see what he comes up with. Maybe you'll get your next Metal Gear out of the deal. Maybe you won't. Maybe you get your next Death Stranding that just does okay. It does not matter. There's going to be people that flock to Game Pass just to try that game if it's exclusive to your ecosystem. Guaranteed. I don't know what the numbers are going to be like, but it doesn't matter at this point. It's going to bring new eyes in to Xbox, and that's what it's all about.
You're awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I mean, I just hope it's Metal Gear. And so that's it.
Y'all do.
So, fuck all the other things.
You just make it a multi-game deal, and you just tell them, hey, look, if you're going to do this, we'll give you an open checkbook, but you got to make both.
Yeah, exactly.
I just reinstalled Metal Gear 5.
Yeah. I mean, clearly with the Kojima situation, I mean, we're starting to see what this generation of PlayStation is all about, and what the new leadership positions at Sony are prioritizing, like based on the article with who's it, Schreier? That came out.
Jason Schreier.
Jason Schreier.
That article, the one that's everybody's talking about today.
Yeah. I would say like Sony's prioritization from the studios they have is like sort of, it seems like they are allocating their resources towards their AAA games. And while the games that while the games that aren't like these huge AAA third-person experiences, they aren't getting as much support. So for Kojima, I think this is pretty awesome. And like Pong was saying, I think for the game he was probably making with Stadia, that probably has something to do with the cloud, I'm guessing. Mm-hmm. And I personally think that the deal that is going on with Kojima does have something to do with with the cloud. But it seems like whatever Kojima is working on, I hope it has something to do with Konami. I don't know, but having Silent Hill and Metal Gear be exclusive to Xbox would be huge. And
that would be so huge.
That would be crazy, dude.
I didn't even think of that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in my mind, when I went there about, hey, licensing those games, those IPs or whatever, or maybe buying them, it still wasn't equating to me right now exclusive to Xbox platform, right?
Yeah.
Because that would mean it's not, like, Metal Gear wouldn't be on PlayStation if that happened.
Yeah, and based on, I don't know who read the article, but like what sucks is like the Sony kind of taking less risk, because you think about a studio like Naughty Dog that started off really small. Sony gave them support, built them up, and now they are an extremely talented studio. And they came from, from Sony giving them creative freedom and giving that studio chances. Xbox didn't give Insomniac the proper support with like Sunset Overdrive, and they lost that potential partnership. So I think this new Microsoft seems to be like valuing those relationships, building upon them, especially if the Kojima rumor is true. I personally keep seeing people like downplay Kojima, and it's fine if you're not a fan of him. His games aren't for everyone. He has pretty crazy stories, but you can't really downplay the impact he has on the industry and the fan base he naturally brings through just his name alone. And I'm personally a fan of Kojima. I think I love the Metal Gear franchise, and I asked Mav the other day, like, how would you compare people sort of downplaying his work because of Death Stranding not coming out how people expect, and basically like erasing everything else he has made. Like, oh, Death Stranding, I didn't like it, so he's trash.
To cancel culture. Holy shit.
Ridiculous to me.
Fuck?
Like you think about all the games he has made and all the whole just who he is as a creator, right? He's very just a creative, very smart person.
Yeah, and Death Stranding, that, like, I mean, in a way it kind of put that at the forefront of who he is. It was like an almost artistic piece in gaming. Like, it wasn't your traditional, and no, it's not what everybody thought it would be, but it was something totally different. And I don't think that giving him crap about that is right, because even though if you don't like it, it was something absolutely stunning in its own way. So,
but we know why, for the most part, why people are giving him crap is not because of his talent or anything. It's because he's potentially working with someone new.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's what it's all about at the end of the day. I think he's extremely talented. And I'm excited for the partnership because it seems like Sony is going in a different direction. You could just tell with the moves they have lately, like basically making all their games, movies, and literally TV shows at this point, and shutting down different services and stuff. They're going in a different direction. It seems like they are very much prioritizing the AAA experience because that seems to be working for them. And what was it? Just today, I wonder if I can find it. But just today, they were talking about how they want like the counter punch to Xbox Game Pass. I think it was like David Jaffe was talking about it. So they're definitely going in a different direction. But I think with this deal, how Game Pass is really cool. And it always comes back to Game Pass, right? And you're gonna keep hearing Game Pass. It's gonna be really annoying, but it's true because it has such an impact on the industry, I think. But
it really does.
Having Game Pass is really good for creators, and it's because it lessens the risk in so many different ways. And if you look at Outriders, for example, Outriders is one of the most sold games right now on the Xbox marketplace. You go to like top paid games, and it's Outriders, even though it's in Game Pass, right? You're like, oh, no one's gonna buy it, so why is it in the top?
Xbox guys don't buy games, come on.
Yeah. So it's kind of ridiculous, but Game Pass
in the UK.
Oh yeah. So I think Game Pass it engages people to buy games even more, which is a weird thing to think about, but that's what it does. When people buy Game Pass, they are encouraged to buy more games. So it's really good for creators, and I think Kojima, if anything, since Sony is going in a different direction, I think if this deal does go through, which it seems to be, maybe, then it's good for Kojima.
Everything's kind of going that way. Like, I feel like there's not much that says that that's not happening. So.
Yeah.
When
is it going to be announced? Like E3? That's probably going to happen, right? Man, that's going to explode, dude, on the internet. Like, they have some kind of video with like Kojima and Phil Spencer, like on a video chat conference call, talking about the partnership that they have. It could even be more than just one game, because if they're looking at developing something, like Kojima's a storyteller, right? He's a storyteller that has really creative art. Like, he has an artistic side to him. It's very expressive. He wants to come across with what he's trying to show. And Game Pass gives new avenues to be able to create different types of experiences where you don't necessarily have to have everything as one big game. You can have shorter pieces come out over time. You can do more of a like episodic type deal, right? He could play around in the Game Pass world and be able to create different types of experiences that he wouldn't necessarily be able to ever get the budget for releasing just something as one big title, right? Because Xbox, for them, they're going in like potentially with Forza, the next Forza Motorsport, having it. Maybe Forza is going to be like, this is the hub for Forza, and we're going to have that, and it's going to keep ongoing and ongoing and ongoing, right? And just keep it there as like, hey, Forza's in Game Pass. And then you got, hey, Clowns, dude, you're awesome, man. I thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Clowns.
But like, as Forza is going to be this, I think, this hub, right? In Game Pass, it's going to live on. I think a lot of games are going to kind of be in that because you're no longer having to purchase the experience. You're accessing it, right? And if you have access to this service, just like we see Disney Plus is doing with like the WandaVision and all these other things, are releasing content that they never would have otherwise if it was like in a normal TV format or having it come out on Blu-ray or whatever, right? So if you have this service, you can just go onto, that, hey, you're going to get this like Kojima world that you have access to, and you always are going to stay subscribed because you know the next piece is coming. It makes more sense. And also for me, that sounds like something he could potentially be interested in. And if you could work with Konami to have that around Metal Gear, oh man, like, dude, that would just be like insane. By the way, speaking of Clowns, you're freaking awesome, dude. 4GQ TV, every Thursday night, 6:30 Eastern. He's giving us a code. He just put in the chat to give away for Outriders, right, on Xbox. So if you are interested with for Outriders on Xbox, stick around because we're gonna give that away later in the show. I'll come up with something with my creative wife, figure out some way to enter and win that. But we'll pick somebody in the chat somehow. So that'll be later. So.
I remember on your show, Mav, like the other day, someone was like asking you this is not gonna be anything because Xbox is still failing in Japan.
Right. This is a Western.
This is a reach for that, and that's something that Xbox has been trying to do. It's kind of reach that Eastern audience. So.
Kojima likes games are extremely Western popular though, also, right? So
yeah,
that's like that. Somebody could say that, but like, do we want them to give like the part of this show that we talked about in our DM and stuff was like, we're gonna talk about Xbox and Japan stuff because you're bringing up a point here that we can dive into further.
Yeah.
So hey,
I wonder
also,
what that sound
Dutch,
was,
dude. You're awesome, man. Thank you so much. Awesome show as always. Awesome, amazing panel. This channel's going places. You're going places, Dutch. You're
1371. such a great number.
That's that's probably for the exchange rate. I'm imagining. So you're awesome, dude. Thank you, man. I appreciate the support, guys. It means a lot. So going back to the Japan stuff, like I probably need to turn off that chime. You think? I probably need to turn that chime off.
Well, at first it kind of like threw me off. I'm like, what is that noise?
It's awesome. I like it because, but like at the same time, like it's, I don't know. I don't know if you
thought it was the
guys-
attorney calling
you guys-
3-bit to tell him to stop talking.
Yeah, it's like,
I don't mind the chime. Keep the chime coming. I don't care. No, I'm just kidding, guys. Hey, so we were going to talk about other things with Xbox in Japan because they are making a push, right? But this Kojima to me is not necessarily 100% about that. I think it could help for sure, but like his games are like Metal Gear is hugely popular here, right? Death Stranding was popular here to an extent. It didn't sell very well, right? But it was marketed to a Western audience for the most part, even though I guess Kojima said that we don't understand it as I guess in a tweet that he said.
Well,
but,
that was more of a response to the noise that people were like booing it for it. But it was an art piece. It wasn't like, you know, it wasn't his Metal Gear Solid or anything, but it was a different game that was nice and refreshing to have because it was just different, and I enjoyed it. Like I wouldn't mind seeing him going back to Zone of Enders and bringing, if Xbox can snatch up that IP and have him do another Zone of Enders, because I love mechs, and I mean we go crazy over Titanfall, and Mech Assault is 5 that's coming out here soon. So Zone of Enders would be smart for Xbox personally. I can't, that'd be something I would hopefully if they're buying IPs up, that'd be one of them.
Yeah, that would be cool. Zone of Enders, Metal Gear, I think, and then Death Stranding are the ones that he's most known for. And then he was going to be working on Silent Hill. So Konami has that, but that game was kaput. So we'll see. Are any of y'all like huge Metal Gear fans?
Yeah,
I loved Metal Gear at the beginning.
I really enjoy being boxes. So yes.
Yeah. I played all of them, and the only one I didn't beat was the 5th. I beat 1, 2, 3, 4. And what I like about it is just like it has so many different themes inside of it. It has like stealth. It has a lot of political drama, things inspired by Western media. Obviously, like Hideo Kojima is very much inspired by blockbuster movies. So it's like it's a mixture of a lot of different things I don't see in another game, which is why I'm personally a fan of him. Like, yes, he has very long cutscenes. I think there was a 2-hour cutscene in Death Stranding or something like that, or at the very end or something.
Well, in Metal Gear 4, I mean, oh my gosh, the cutscenes were like insane. They weren't bad. I actually enjoyed watching them. I didn't necessarily understand what everything meant, but it was still really well done, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I think what I was going to say about Japan, I think this is just a step in the right direction for Xbox. I think you got to start somewhere, and this is a pretty good jump to what they want to do. I think the future of Xbox in Japan isn't even this deal. It would be nice, but I think xCloud is Series S is where they're probably focused in Japan, because first off, Series S is actually doing pretty well, despite what people are saying. Like Xbox is not selling, it's doing pretty well in Japan.
It is.
And xCloud, like mobile gaming is huge over there. PUBG alone, I can't remember the number. It was like 1 billion, 2 billion something, just PUBG over there. So
does it beat that here, or like I feel like mobile gaming, we don't talk about it much, but I feel like it's just as huge here. Like, I mean, maybe
It's
not
huge here,
that
too.
huge,
Not-
but just
Yeah.
as huge.
But it's a lot bigger over in like Korea and Japan and China. It's very big over there. So like xCloud definitely will. If Xbox was going to get into the Eastern market, xCloud would be the way to get into a lot of players' hands, and then people will be like, oh my god, like what they're playing, and then pick up an Xbox console. And I think that's what they're kind of hoping to get, the ball rolling over there per se.
That makes sense. So
The internet's really good in Japan too, right? Don't they have great
Yeah.
infrastructure for internet
everybody has great,
and broadband service? So if it's going to work flawlessly, that's the place it's going to work really well, I would think.
Oh yeah.
And people are used to playing handheld devices a lot over there.
Thanks
I
to
know-
Nintendo.
Yeah, and so I think that is a big play, like you guys saying. I think it makes a lot of sense, and also not only that, but like the TVs just having the built-in apps, right? Or the streaming sticks that they could come out with. That's going to be very power friendly, right? As well for people there, and it's also going to be not take up a lot of space, So
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes into play with that kind of stuff. I think you could see Microsoft's idea of this like ecosystem and all these different places that you can play become intriguing for people there, right? I haven't been to Japan, so I'm not speaking from like experience or anything. Just from everything I've heard, it seems like it's a good fit, right? xCloud and Game Pass and stuff.
Yeah, I think Tokyo is the entire city is it has free Wi-Fi. I believe, from what I've heard that they have. So like xCloud, that's why it would definitely be huge because anyone can play it anywhere.
Has anybody here been to Japan?
Hi, 3-bit.
I was gonna say probably 3-bit. I was gonna point out. I'm like, this guy.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I've been to
3-bit's
Japan.
drinking wine, you guys.
Yeah, he's
so
been to Japan. So
you can tell his eyes are starting to.
You've been to France. You've been to Japan. This man is well traveled.
Yeah, it's a good place. Cool place.
Were you there recently for any reason?
Well,
As
when I
part
went to
any
France,
deals
it
or
was
anything?
for study abroad, and then when I went to Japan, it was just a few days, so I can't speak to it that much. I was there for like 3 days.
Okay.
Did you notice he had to just drop the fact that he went to France also?
Yeah. Oh, we already know that because he said one of his songs that he played on repeat was when he was standing on a mountain in France.
Yes.
That is a quote from 3-bit, guys. He just drops that stuff randomly. Oh yeah, this song I listened to on loop, when I was climbing this mountain in France.
Right. I did this thing one time.
Drinking wine, eating cheese,
Yeah.
having a baguette.
It's good times. Good times.
Yeah.
A bucket.
All right. So, babe, do you have you seen like the Metal Gear games?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like I've seen you watch. I've watched you play them.
Yeah, I get really
It's
excited
not a
anytime
bad
a
time.
Metal Gear game comes
They're
out.
honestly not my favorite. It's not like my favorite series of all time. I've dabbled here and there, but it's not something that I'm absolutely like gung ho on. But I mean, I know there are so many people out there that would love to see it, so that's where I'm at. I'm like, people love this fucking game. Let's just give them a new one. So
If you go back
I've
to
only
like
played-
the older school style, that would be so happy, right? Go back to Metal Gear 2, Metal Gear 3, those days, that style of Metal Gear. Oh my gosh, that'd be it for me.
That's the ones I loved.
Yeah.
I got lost in 5. I was like, where's he going with this? This is doing my head in.
right.
Yeah.
He's a talented guy, but I'm not so hyped as you lot. I couldn't give a toss one way or the other, to be honest.
Do they have multiplayer at all?
Yes, they have multiplayer modes in the Metal Gear games, and some of the more recent ones, especially. But they're not really known for that.
Right.
Right. I think Metal Gear 4 multiplayer mode got pretty popular for a while. Metal Gear. Did Metal Gear 3 have online? I think it did. Can't remember.
I'm sure I played them solo, so I'm not sure.
But they're mostly known as a single player franchise, right?
The only games I played on with Metal Gears, what came out on Xbox, the Metal Gear Solid 2, 3, and 5. That's all I've played. I wouldn't mind checking out the other games, but I haven't been able to pick them up on my PS4. So too many games to play on my Xbox right now. So
yeah,
priorities,
thing is just people that are have to play the Kojima game that aren't gonna be able to play it on the platform that they normally play it on. So they're gonna there's gonna be a lot of people that go and subscribe to Game Pass just to try that one game, just to play that game. So that's what it's all about. Adding variety to Game Pass and also the Xbox ecosystem to just another type of game, another style of game to add. All right, guys. So there's more coming out on Xbox that there's some people are not talking about. And there's a game coming out that I wanted to talk about. And I don't know if any of you are hyped for this game. I know Pong is. Lady is. She asked me to make it her intro character.
I'm absolutely so excited for this game. So stoked.
And but for real though, like nobody's talking about this game. It comes out in June, okay? And it's not an Xbox exclusive, but it is a JRPG that Xbox has the marketing rights to. Again, Xbox is trying to do things in Japan again, and this game is coming to Xbox this summer. That game is Scarlet Nexus. And I think it looks freaking sick. So I don't understand personally like why nobody, even like from any side in the communities or whatever, is not really talking about this game that much, because Microsoft keeps making tweets advertising it. They keep doing YouTube things on their channel for this game, and just anytime they drop something, it gets kind of shared a little bit, but it's not getting any kind of hype or generating any hype or anything. And I'm kind of baffled by that, just because of how sick it looks. Like, I think it looks pretty badass personally. I think the art style looks incredible. I think I watched the interviews with the developers. They look like they're super passionate about this project, like it's a dream game for them to make. Really interesting things with the combat, the story, the world that they're in, the city. It's like a hybrid of genres as well. Looks like a lot of cool things. So is anybody else here? Please tell me somebody is excited for Scarlet Nexus.
I am a little bit. Just a little bit.
I looked into
it. As his background is Scarlet Nexus.
Yeah, exactly. No, this game looks freaking phenomenal. It's like an anime that you get to play, and it has so much going for it, and it's definitely not even talked about at all. I mean, the ability to have, you have psychokinetic abilities and being able to throw things, so you're going to have like powers that's in control, but it looks and feels like an anime. And then and there's so much that's going about it. And me and Matt were talking about it. We're just kind of like why hasn't anyone really talked about this outside from when they showed it in July? Like, when this game was announced, we heard a little bit of it, and then it kind of dropped off, because the other thing is with the Bethesda news with Xbox, so it kind of like has been overshadowed. But it comes out in 2 months, and I would love to see this really pick up and excel on Xbox, because a game like this will excel on Xbox, like me and Matt were talking about, it would definitely help get more games like this onto the Xbox platform. And and that's what a lot of people have been asking for. more JRPGs, like back in the 360 days when we had like Lost Odyssey and Enchanted Arms and Blue Dragon and all these games that, you know, what we loved in back then, you know, we can have.
Oh, the dolphin.
It's what?
Said an Echo the Dolphin.
Oh, Echo the Dolphin. Well, that's not really a JRPG, but you know,
know.
but fun games, but different. But you know, it's just great. I would love.
I mean, it's just Blue Dragon and immediately went south. So.
Hey, there was nothing wrong with Blue Dragon.
I love a Blue Dragon fan.
Yeah, I mean they're obviously taking steps towards Japan, like I was saying before, like with Nier and also Dragon Quest coming straight to Game Pass. Just like little things like that's been happening over time. And I mean, I don't know if anyone has played wow, my brain. Dragon Quest.
That Dragon
Dragon Quest 11.
I feel like a lot of people have played Dragon Quest.
Yeah, good
I
stuff.
love that game.
Good stuff.
Great.
And I think Phil is just he's very passionate about like certain projects. You could just tell the way he talks about it. And Dragon Quest was definitely one of them, bringing that to Xbox. But yeah, I'm excited for Scarlet Nexus. I think it has a lot of potential. The gameplay looks awesome. It looks very unique with like the weird enemy types that you see like in the trailer. And I love JRPGs, so
it also gives me the Sword Art Online also feel.
That's where I went. Like, I mean, when I first saw it, when I started looking into it, when you guys started talking about it yesterday, I was like, oh, I literally don't know what this game is. And I don't hate like JRPGs. Like, I mean, there's certain categories of them. Obviously, I play like my farming sims like Harvest Moon and, you know, Rune Factory, and those in themselves are in that category. And there are some that I do like. I liked Octopath and stuff like that. So I mean, it's not completely outside of my realm, but I started looking into it and I immediately went Sword Art. I was like, oh, this just reminds me of like, I don't know if you guys played the actual Sword Art game on Xbox, but I just totally got those vibes, and I'm excited to see what is. I might pick it up. I mean, I would like it to come to Game Pass because I don't think it's something that I'm going to necessarily buy day one, but
I think it will eventually, because all the games that like the Xbox gets the marketing rights for seem like they end up in Game Pass eventually, right? So I maybe not day one, or we could get surprised with that, because it seems like some of these publishers are changing their mind and all of a sudden going to Game Pass all of a sudden, right? So there's a possibility for that, but I think we'll get it eventually. I would almost guarantee that, but I'm going to be day one on this one. I think it's going to be hard for me to wait. Pong, I know you got some feelings about Scarlet Nexus.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, it's a JRPG. It's near and dear to my heart. And it's, obviously from Namco Bandai, which Bandai Namco is a phenomenal maker of RPGs. The Tales series is an incredible it's a lesser known series, but it's been around since 1995, and the Tales series is huge, and the guys that are actually making Scarlet Nexus actually are veterans of the Tales series, and you can see the high qualities. So this isn't a group of inexperienced JRPG makers. These guys know what they're doing. Again, you talk to people who play JRPGs and you ask them about the Tales series, and most everybody will have played at least one of them, if not multiple, because it comes out on a regular basis. And I think the reason why we're kind of seeing it get lost a little bit is just because it's a new IP, and with new IPs and also being a JRPG, it gets overshadowed because the classics are, what everybody looks for. That's why it was kind of surprising when Octopath Traveler came out, even though people, who may have been following the Switch had heard about what a great game it was. And some of us who realize, some of us who pay attention had seen that it had been up for awards and stuff. It still was underneath the radar, just because it's a new IP, right? It's not a well-known IP. So when we saw that drop into Game Pass, I think Phil is trying to buy a JRPG market for Xbox. I think that's what he's really going for. He enjoys them, and I think he understands the importance. Again, it's just like the Kojima stuff. It's a part of creating diversity. You got to have these games. They might be niche games. They might not have the biggest audiences, but that's the one thing you knew. When you were buying into PlayStation, if you bought into that ecosystem, when I bought my PlayStation 4, I knew I was going to have all the JRPGs I could ever ask for, whether they were big ones like the Final Fantasies or whether they were tiny ones that maybe 100,000 people play or 30,000 people play. Those JRPGs were coming because there's a ton of studios that people on Xbox who have never, looked at JRPGs or looked at that side of things would not even realize that they're around. But there's like tons of them. Mav, you've been on that side too. So I think it's important that Scarlet Nexus is coming and that they have, again, there's the reason why they've got the marketing rights is because Phil knows how important this stuff is. Because when people look at the ecosystem, when people are trying to make a decision about where they're going to buy their next console or what they're going to invest in, there's going to be people who come from the Sony side of things and are used to seeing this plethora of crazy, wacky, fantastic, crazy Asian stuff, the Japanese kind of JRPGs. Yeah, crazy Asian stuff. Just these cool games that we don't see anywhere else, and these experiences that you don't get out of a lot of Western developers nowadays. And so when they look at Xbox now and they start seeing that all these different style games, especially from the East, are coming in, that's what's gonna draw those people and say, okay, so you know what? If I get in this ecosystem, I'm not gonna have to give up all that stuff. I can stay at Xbox and still experience a lot of it. And that's what he's doing right now. Scarlet Nexus looks absolutely drop dead gorgeous. I don't know if you guys went back and watched, I think it was almost a 20-minute playthrough. I've watched that a few times. And if you look at the backgrounds are hand-drawn anime style. Like it's a amazing effect. Like there's one scene where they're kind of walking through a back alley or part of a city and they're coming out to a street, and then you've got the gigantic apartment complexes across the street or whatever, living areas, and it just looks like you're watching an anime, straight out of anything that you've ever seen. So again, high quality stuff. They announced that they're having an anime release as well, which is huge. Because we know that people are going to play this game and then say, wow, I really am loving this. I want to go check out these characters some more. I want to see what this world is more about. Now they got the anime coming out to kind of fill a lot of that space too. And like Lady was talking about Sword Art Online. I played those games, great games, but they had the anime to go along with it. And that was a big part of it. A lot of people watched the anime first and then said, oh, I can play the game, and played the game, and vice versa. So that's a big deal. I can't wait to see how the anime turns out. But again, you got veteran developers on this who have made really good JRPGs in the past. You got a totally
Tales
different.
Of Vesperia, I think, is one. Some of the guys worked on Tales of Vesperia.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I played that game. It's gorgeous. But it's going to hit. I think people are going to catch on. It would be good if it drops into Game Pass, as we could probably say that about every game right now. I don't know if it will, but hopefully, if it doesn't get the reception that they're hoping for, maybe it drops into Game Pass or something like that. But I hope people check it out. Anybody who has any kind of interest whatsoever in JRPGs, definitely need to check this game out. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait.
We have a JRPG coming next week, a remaster to Game Pass, and that's the Saga Frontier.
Saga Frontier?
If anybody played that when they were younger, but that's coming next week.
Nice.
So I think that'll be a nice little thing. We also have that kind of, I think there was 3 of them where from Korea that are coming over the next 6 months that I'm super excited to see how well they do on Game Pass as well. I'm super excited for The Witch in the Woods. I'm just super stoked for that one. So
that'll look good. That'll look really good.
Yeah,
that's one of the games
really
they showed
good,
at that indie showcase, right?
Yeah, they did show it at the end. They showed it. I actually saw it a few weeks prior to that. They had showcased like I think it was 3 or 4 Korean games that were coming to Game Pass, and it was on there. And then you saw it again at that indie showcase. But it's one of the ones that's on my radar that is coming to Game Pass here in the next few months. So I mean, there's definitely a want for them. I don't think that's anything that nobody's going to be like, oh no, nobody wants those games on Game Pass, don't put them there. So it's exciting to see, or on Xbox in general, but yeah, it's exciting to see where it's taking Xbox as a whole into the next
different
generation.
Than last gen, right? Because
yeah, absolutely, because you didn't have much of anything on there at all. And that's not just last gen, that was kind of the generation before that as well. It's never been something that Xbox has really tried to adapt as much as PlayStation has. Growing up, on Nintendo and mainly PlayStation until 360 when I was in my later teens. It was PlayStation, so I could get Final Fantasy, and for me they did a lot of partnerships with more Nintendo games that I played, like Harvest Moon and Rune Factory, and these games that came out on PlayStation and Nintendo but not really anywhere else. So it's exciting to see it coming to Xbox as well.
So I have a trailer. Go ahead, Lupa.
Oh, it's okay. Sorry.
No,
I was just going to say I'm not a bigger fan as Pong and Lady for JRPGs, but that's the value of Game Pass, is that I can try these games, and if I don't like them, fine, and if I do like them, they go into my list. So I think it's great that they're spreading their wings and going to new places and bringing new games and make a lot of people happy. But I'm like, if it's a good story and good gameplay, then I'm all up for it. It's when they're just repetitive and mindless, I get a bit bored with them.
Yeah. Have you tried Octopath Traveler, Lupa?
Yeah, I've got it on my massive backlog. I'm trying to catch up desperately, but yes,
there's no catching up for my backlog.
Kate was shocked at what she witnessed on my stream when she was watching me play that.
I watched a bit of you playing it, and I thought, yeah, that I will definitely give this a go, and downloaded it as soon as I could. But I've got so much games that are not completed, and that drives me mad. So I'm trying to finish some first before I start.
Hey, Dead Wolf, you're awesome, totally man. Thank you, dude. Appreciate it. Hey, by the way, I don't know if next week or the following week, Dead Wolf and Arsonist are going to come on the show.
Oh, nice. Awesome. I'm excited.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, super excited about that. Check out those guys' channel, Noobs and Pros, over on Twitch. They got several different shows they do on there. One of them is Pomon. I think I got it right.
You did it, Pomon. Players of everything, masters of none.
And a great show. They were kind enough to have us, several of us as a guest. Their lady shows up on the show just about every week, and definitely worth it checking out. Babe, when you saw Octopath Traveler, could you give me a description of what you witnessed?
Why are you making me do that?
I just want you to give some detail of what you witnessed on the screen.
Which part?
You could
part where she was cutting off his dick.
Yeah, that happened, right? Or at least we think that happened.
And the way that he talked to her was I was like, what? Did he just say that?
Yeah.
This guy.
So
that's something like what do you say about her mouth?
Put it where it belongs or something like that. Yeah. Hey, if you play Octopath Traveler, start off as the dancer. Okay. Wow, that game has some surprises in store that you would not expect from a game
That's your
like
typical
that.
JRPG.
It is freaking awesome. Yes, that happened in that game.
I didn't even know they made games like that.
Yeah, they do. They make castration games.
There's a whole category on Steam.
Yeah. There's Steam.
Know.
We don't want to get into the Steam categories. You know, they can get pretty
Steam
steamy.
categories are insane.
My mom's in the chat, so I just want to say hi, Mom.
Oh.
Hi, Mom.
Hey, hi, Mom.
I do know how to dance. Hi, Mom. Wait, whose mom was in the chat?
Are you
Hers.
your mother-in-law?
Oh, mine? Okay. Hi, Susie.
Is that Susie? Hi, Susie.
Yeah, Susie.
Yeah.
Now we're all gonna be on our best behaviors. Look at us.
Hey, no, she knows me. She knows my mouth.
She knows.
Wait, that sounded bad. No, she knows me. She knows what I'm like, so she can handle it. She's cool. You actually get along with my mother-in-law and father-in-law, which is cool, right? That doesn't always happen. So, all right, guys. I got a trailer. I mean, so part of the point of me playing this trailer right now is not only because I'm super hyped for this game, and I think a lot of you may have missed this stuff, right? But I think it's actually I want to test the audio to see if this actually works. But I think maybe you guys might like to see. So while my mother-in-law's in the chat, we're gonna watch the Scarlet Nexus.
Trolling you.
I was reading.
She's trolling me. Yeah, no, she's great. She's a freaking sense of humor. That one, yeah, for sure.
The virtual brain link cable will now be connected. This will hurt much more than it did in training. Be strong.
Beginning SAS cable connection.
Good. Seems like you're okay.
I love this video.
Connect your minds and become one. Use the
It's got good
red
music, too.
strings to save the world. Don't underestimate me.
Don't bother resisting. I will obtain the red strings. I wouldn't let that happen. Focus.
Or is it not syncing to the Xbox?
Play it on the all-new X.
Okay, I'll help you in a second, babe. I'll be there. Promise. In just 1 minute. I will. I promise. In just 1 minute.
Everybody can hear you.
Yeah, I know. Hi, guys. My daughter's
He's
trying to get me
talking to
help with
all of
something.
you.
Hey, yeah. What did y'all think of that trailer, guys? Hey, take it away.
Oh, I loved it. I loved the trailer. I mean, the music gets you pumped, so like it just makes you want to play the game. Like it's do I have to wait 2 more months? Like, can I have it now? That's what I get from the trailer. I just want to get my hands on it already.
No, yeah, definitely. The music was great too. Like I said, I looked at it yesterday and I saw that trailer, and it was definitely something that I was like, why haven't I seen more of this? Especially for something coming to Xbox that's not generally seen there. So I'm excited for it. So
It definitely, I mean, just the art direction in the game itself, you really don't see that too much, especially with on Xbox, at least you don't see that too much, and that's what I love. It gives you that Persona vibe. I mean, so like people, like, you know, everyone's like, we want Persona, and so you got this game that's coming out that is giving us something that, you know, that's been missing on Xbox, and yet no one's talking about it. So it's just real. It's just a little weird.
It's funny because I mean, when I don't know why I think that, well, I mean, I know why I think this, but when I think of, this type of game, a lot of the time I go to turn-based combat, and I left turn-based combat years ago. It's not something that I can really mess with anymore. And I know Lupa has said like she also is like no turn-based. It's not really a style that she can do. But when I think of these types of games, that's kind of where I go, is that like technical, or that like technical kind of fighting style. And I don't know if that's something that other people automatically assume when you see that art style, when you see that kind of thing. Do you go turn-based in your head, like, oh, this is going to be a turn-based game, I'm going to be turned off from it?
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be turn-based.
It's not. It's action. But in my mind, when I see it, I'm like, oh, it's going to be a turn-based game. So I don't even look much more into it.
Yeah.
That's because you come back from the days when everything was turn-based, and now it's the other way, that like when we get a turn-based, it's kind of rare now compared to back
in that genre.
Yes, correct, in that genre, right? That's why Octopath Traveler was such a breath of fresh air. It was oh my god, we got turn-based back again. So
because turn-based was status quo back then. I remember you didn't have any action. That's all it was.
Something that you did, like I can go back to like Final Fantasy and stuff, and like I really enjoyed it at one time, and then I tried to pick it up again like my mid-20s, and I was like, oh no, like I don't know if I really have the patience for this anymore. Like and it does take the like more thinking, like the thought process is there, and like I don't not enjoy that, but I also have very limited attention span these days, so I'm like, I have like 3 hours to play, and I don't want to spend 3 minutes every time I go to fucking fight something to make sure that I know that I'm doing the right thing. But yeah,
I agree.
Yeah,
that's my problem. I played Final Fantasy, my son was absolutely hooked on it, and I was like, oh no, I can't do another one. I gotta go away. I don't like it.
Oh, you will not like Octopath Traveler then. Because
it's turn-based.
Yeah, it's turn-based.
Yes.
Yeah, it's traditional turn-based, like old school, and I love it. I freaking love it.
Oh well,
it's the best.
Uninstall quickly.
No, it's turn-based. Like in that game, and see, the thing is, like back when a certain was a PS2 era, right on the cusp of 360, all of a sudden like it became uncool to be turn-based. Like it's like it was so like everything had to be. It felt old if it was turn-based, and everything had to be action now. And they like when I think it's Final Fantasy 12, right? And they switched to like more of an action RPG style, and then I just kept going with different RPGs, and then for a while it's like, okay, there's no more turn-based RPGs anymore, just because they felt like nobody wanted them. Like only people wanted the new style.
That was a Japanese devs trying to push into the West,
right?
That they wanted
and
to
it's
try
just
to make
like
it more accessible for the Western player who didn't like that slow play. So
but
funny.
There's something that is special about the turn-based as well, that if you just do away with that genre altogether, it sucks, because like it adds so much level of like planning and strategy to those games, and that's where the real game lies, especially when you get deep into the end game, like towards the end of those games, when you're having to fight the big bosses and stuff. You have to think like sometimes 3 or 4 moves ahead, right? And plan out your steps. Okay, if I do this with this character, then I need to make sure I do this with this one, and then I do this with this one, and you kind of map it out how to beat the boss, and you also have some luck on your side as well, right? And going fully action like takes a lot of that out of the game, because you don't have time to process that much information, right? So I love the fact that it is a genre that is coming back. However, this game is action RPG all the way, and I think the action looks actually pretty insane on this one. So as long as I get my Octopath Travelers, my Project Triangles, and different tactics or turn-based RPGs, I'm good. Astria Ascending is coming as well. Like there's room for both.
Oh yeah, I don't want it to die off. It's just I just really
Well,
love
if it
doing
dies off, it's your
myself
fault. I'm
rather
just kidding.
than setting it all up and then sitting there and watching it.
Mhm.
It's just, I feel like I'm like not really
Yeah.
part of it. It's like I want to get in there and do it myself rather than set it all up and then after you set it up, sit there and watch and see what happens. It's just something that I suppose as you get older, you get a bit more turned off. Like time is short. You just got to grab every second.
I think that might be it. Yeah, I don't know. It's a big thing for me. Like, but I haven't tried one in like probably 6 years. So it's been something that there's so many out there now. Like everybody's talking about them. Like Wasteland is one that I'm like, oh, I kind of really want to fucking try that. I mean, just because of the story and stuff like that. But I don't know. There's definitely things out there that I want to try. And I'm like, maybe I can get back into it. Possibly.
I mean, I'll give Octopath a go, see how it goes either way. But like, it's not my first choice. Like, I was really drawn to Gears Tactics, and then I sort of like went off another angle and sort of avoided it. So it's like, no, I think it's not my first choice. But like, I would definitely give Octopath Traveler a go and see how I like it, because things could change. You just don't know. You have to try. And being it's in Game Pass, that's the perfect time to give these things a go if you haven't tried them in some time, I think.
I totally fucking agree with that. So, I said the F word. I was trying so hard, guys. Make it the whole show.
Fuck. Oh,
damn it. Darn it.
There's no fucking rules here about saying the word fuck.
I know, but I was trying to just be on 3-bits level.
Don't fucking bother about it.
3-bits like you said, 3-bits rubbing off on you.
It was so weird. Like he was like, oh no, I don't curse. And then I was like, no, yeah, you do. And then I just started thinking back. I was like, holy fucking shit, he doesn't curse. He doesn't curse.
No.
But he doesn't judge either, right? So that makes 3-bit cool.
I mean, obviously, because he hangs out with me, and I'm probably the worst of the lot. So. Let's be real. He does have some issues going on right now, but he'll be back.
Okay. Yeah, I did too. I think Kaylee broke her controller, so we'll see.
Oh no! Somebody crashed in front of his house.
Oh really?
Oh.
Oh no!
He said that everybody's fine, but he said that he'll be back shortly. But yeah, it was no. He's like, somebody just crashed in front of my house. I'm like, that's
good thing everything's.
I thought you said crashed into his house. I was gonna say, what?
I reread it because I was like, what do you mean? Oh, he's like, no, in front. Like he said, right in front. And then like my first thought was like somebody hit his mom's van. His bus.
Right.
That bus thing.
The bus? Yeah, the party bus?
Oh, that bus. Yes, that's awesome. The ultimate bus. Last week he had a tornado at his house. Like,
yeah,
just crazy things happen at the weird times. So you and 3-bit beat It Takes Two finally.
We did beat It Takes Two. I cannot recommend that game enough. Like I cannot. And Caitlin's on my side. I know Mav's like,
but and me. I think it's my game of the year so far.
It's so good, right? I mean,
it's good. It's not my game of the year.
No,
it's good.
What is your game of the year so far? What is your game of the year so far? It Takes Two. Just stop.
It is mine, 100%. Like I was joking about, oh, this game's like so long because like I was anticipating we're playing the whole thing on stream, right? And I was thinking, okay, it's only going to be a couple. It's going to be like maybe 3 plays, right? 3-hour sessions. But no, that game was like 15 hours long. But you know what?
15 hours to play through, 20 hours if you're doing the completionist type of thing.
Right.
And they said like 10 hours if you're going for like gung ho, we're getting through this type of thing.
And 30 weeks if you're playing with Psycho.
what
that's why Psycho hates
I look
it.
Around. No, because I look around and
that's
there
my
any little
problem.
secret?
That was our problem, Psycho. You need somebody
yeah.
like me to play with next time because 3-bit and I are the same way. So where we have to see everything. I'm like, what does this do? I actually got mad when I was watching Kaitlin and Mav stream because they got to an area in the game where she like jumped on the alligator's teeth and it went down. And I was like, I didn't fucking jump on those alligator's teeth. And there was absolutely nothing. You didn't get a ticket for it or nothing with it, but I didn't do it. I didn't do it. So I was like, oh
me and
no.
Sykes did. But
we
we're
play
both
that.
the same. We've got to find everything. So we're both running around like idiots looking for everything.
Everything. Like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
you know, the
it
game
takes a
is
long time
so
for us.
beautiful, and the interaction in the level is.
I'm there with
I have
Psycho
never
joins.
played a game where the interaction is that fucking amazing. Like almost
Yeah.
everything does something.
And you really do have to communicate.
Absolutely, you
Absolutely.
have to
Yes.
communicate.
100%. If you cannot not communicate with that game.
And it's so funny to think about, because looking back on my playthrough, like when 3-Bit and I were playing at the beginning, like I was so focused on my screen and we would talk each other through these things, like you couldn't see them right next to you.
I know, same. Yep.
And I was like, and then like it took us like halfway through the playthrough. I'm like, just look at my fucking screen. Like,
see what I'm doing.
Look at what I'm doing.
And I was like, Psycho would join me like 4 or 5 in the morning for me, and all of a
That's a
sudden it's
Psycho
10
thing.
a.m. and I'm like, damn, how long have we been playing this? We've just got lost in it, and the time's flown.
Yeah, I mean, it does. You look up, you're like, oh my god, I've been playing for 4 hours already.
And
Holy
then Sykes
crap.
will say, oh, I'm really tired. Maybe we'll end it just there.
Yeah, I'm
We
like,
were
okay,
doing
that,
like
Carry on.
3-hour sessions, like pretty much almost every time. Like, I mean, and sometimes we wouldn't even get through like one chapter. The fucking Roses room, that took us like 3 playthroughs, like to like get through it all. Because there was so much in it. Like when you got to the hopscotch area, I was sitting in bed last night trying to think about like my favorite area in the whole game. Like my favorite level, my favorite
area was Hell
chapter.
Tower.
And it was so hard. It Takes Two. It was so hard to like pinpoint the area where I was like, oh, this is it. This is the game. This is what it is. But I think it kind of came at the beginning when you're in the tree and you go through that like glowy area and the jellyfish and the like neon and everything. It like, I mean, 3-Bit and I were both like, this feels like Avatar. Like I feel like I'm in the fucking Avatar. James Cameron, the Avatar. But that one's up there. And then I think my other level, honestly, is probably the ice level. And I don't think 3-Bit liked it as much, but I really enjoyed that.
That was Kate's favorite level. Was
I think
the
it's because
ice
it was
level,
it's just so large and I didn't know what to do.
It was super, but you had the underwater area, which was beautiful. Like I loved the underwater.
Wasn't there a part where you like had to jump on top of like jellyfish?
Yeah,
that's what I was talking about at the beginning. That glow in the dark kind of Avatar,
pretty.
like, and it was so beautiful. And you rode that like fish, like koi fish, through the tunnel, and
I just stand there looking at it all.
Me too. And that's what
oh wow, look at
so
that.
beautiful. And then when you're on that koi fish, not only was everything going around you so serene, but they hit the fucking music and the atmosphere so well. Like I think I said it like 4 times when we were streaming. I'm like, fucking, do you hear this music? Do you hear this sound? Like I'm like, everything is so perfect right now. It was just I mean, magical. Like, I mean, it was legit magical.
They've
like,
done that on a couple levels, not just like that fish level, but
3-Bit had some other. What was your favorite? Those last levels, like the musical levels, were amazing. Those were up there for me too. I know you really like those ones.
Yeah, the last few levels, like the music, the environments was like amazing. I don't want to spoil it for like Lupa and Psycho, but like the last few levels, like how they did it was incredible. But like just looking back at my whole run through of that game with Lady, like that game is my game of the year right now. So it's gonna be
hard to beat, I think. Like I think that like, and I don't think it's just the game, but the experience in itself. Like that was an amazing experience. In its own right. So it was good. And then I don't know. The space level also. Fuck, I love that.
Yeah, you love that
level.
space level. When I first played it, I was like,
it was very cool.
Did you find the little secret holes in the wall before you got up to the top?
We don't talk about that.
Oh, you didn't.
We had to go back. No, we completed the game. We got all the achievements. We managed to do it, but we did like there came a point when we got past the space level and we were both like, we didn't do any mini games. that whole game, that whole playthrough. Yeah. So then we had to look it up and we had to go back and play the mini games before we can move on. But it was cool because we got all of the achievements except for 2 without looking up. So I mean, we did a really, I think that we did a very thorough job.
Yeah. We friggin' got everything. But it's one of those games that you want to, you know, there's certain games I'll beat. I'm like, okay, I'm fine with that. And I'll move on.
Yeah.
It Takes Two is one of those games where I want to see everything just because of the experience it gave me. It felt very full. Like there's many times where I was like, oh, this is the end of the game. This is the end of the game. No. It keeps going.
Me and Nort missed the Way Out dolls. I was mad about that. I was looking for it everywhere and I just missed it.
I didn't play the game, but 3-Bit did. And he's like, this is the Way Out, people. I was like, oh shit, that's fucking rad. And there's so many Easter eggs. Did you guys get to the point in the clock area where you took the little paddle boat?
No.
Oh, you haven't gotten there yet.
We're at the castle.
The Zelda influence thing.
Yes, the Zelda. Like when you get into that area, and it's like, I'm like, oh, there's so many Easter eggs, so many Easter eggs. So and then Diablo area, like
the Diablo one was cool. I really liked that.
That was probably that one was a fun time.
When I missed that
fire
part.
Sword, I was like, yes.
Well,
I don't think I met that
tanks. That was also in A Way Out at the end.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I didn't play that one. I think 3-Bit and I are actually going to go through and play The Way Out. So that's our next playthrough.
Part 2.
Nice.
Friggin' crazy. I didn't like the space level as much when I first played it because I was just drunk and playing that when you're like going upside down and doing all these crazy angles.
He didn't like it when I would go upside down. He'd be like, whoa, you're upside down. I'm like, I am upside down. I think the area, I don't really want to talk about much, but there's like at the end, at the garden area, there's this time where 3-Bit and I were both like absolutely hammered, like so hammered that we couldn't even remember the playthrough. We both watched it the next day, like went back and watched it to remember what we had done. And there's a part where we got super disorientated jumping on logs, like as frogs. And it was super, like, I think that was the worst part in the game for me because the way that the cameras moved and stuff was kind of just off. Even sober, it was kind of like, oh, this is kind of hard to control or like look at straight. But I think that was my only like,
because there's lots of different angles.
Pong is like, I don't even play this game, and he look at him. He's like, I'm not gonna play it.
I know.
Do it, Pong. Do it.
No.
And one of the most awesome things about it is that you're interacting with another person, and you know,
you got to play this with the right person.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, definitely. You need the partner.
It can bring people together. It can also probably separate people if you play.
The story is so good.
It can.
Oh, the story hits
a lot of fights.
Actually, I started that game and I was like, oh man, like when I saw the way the story started, like just like it hits close to home for me as some of the stuff in that game, right? As with how it starts out and stuff, and I was like, I don't know if I can play this. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, is that deep? But you know, but it does such a good job with like being lighthearted in all the right ways, and then bringing it back to the story, and then bringing lighthearted and fun, and you know, and it just wraps up so well. It's such a memorable experience that I am so glad that me and Kate got to play together, because I know it's one thing that we'll always remember. Hey, we played that game together, and the levels and the different experiences and the fun that we had, it was pretty freaking magical. Like, and it's not like, you don't say that about games very often, right? It's not just a game, it's an experience, right? I think Hellblade was an experience, right, as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely, in its own. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh, I love that.
I think this game is an experience, like, and it's not for everybody. If you don't like platforms, you don't like those mechanics and stuff like that, and you know, like it's not your thing. That's fine. But
they gave you all the jumping games. It was weird. They gave May like the jumping games, and like the guy the one that controls like the platforms that you actually jump on. So that was interesting. Yeah. They did that with a lot of the different levels.
You definitely felt like there was certain kind of bias kind of in a way. Like I definitely feel like I got more of the jumping stuff. He got more of the controlling the jumping, where I had to rely on him to do the shit that I needed to do.
Yeah, it brings you guys together. That's what it's for.
Yeah, I will say
exactly.
if
I played as May. And
did you?
Oh, you play as May? Are you playing as May right now?
Yeah,
I'm playing as May because we're like everyone's playing their gender roles. So I was like, why don't we just switch it up? Because Lupa brought it up. So I was like, hell, why not? Let's see what it is. Me playing as May and her playing as the
It
husband.
sucks because May gets the better weapons.
Yeah.
For most of the game.
Oh, yeah.
You can have a
sure.
completely different game. You're
that's
playing a
why I
different
was
game if
like-
you play through as the other character because all the mechanics throughout the entire game are a little different.
Yeah, I
right?
was like
Yeah,
really
absolutely.
jealous on that B level. Like I have this little like glue thing, and then it shows like her gun, and she like
My
freaking
missile.
explodes. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? I want that.
I love the
And then you were the
nails.
wizard. Yeah, the nails were definitely like I was jealous of the nails.
Oh, I did love the nail. Yeah, it was really cool.
So
I
guys,
didn't like it when I had to do that clone thing and he got to control time. I was like,
That one was hard.
That one
yeah.
confused me for a while.
That
before
one,
I,
it
like,
took me
got it.
that was the one that took me the hardest time. I mean, it took me so long to figure out the May mechanics.
By the
for
time
that.
the level ended, I'm like, oh, I get it. And then
He got it, and he was like directing me. I'm like, okay, tell me what I need to do.
Same with us.
because I do not understand it at all.
Which one was
I
it?
mean, I did eventually.
it's
the clock.
The clock. I don't think we got there yet.
Oh, okay. That's why I'm like,
We
I don't
were
remember
at the
that part.
start of the castle.
So people
Oh,
cannot
okay.
drive. I'm sorry. That was the randomest thing I just
Oh,
had
yeah.
to deal with.
well,
That-
hey,
that
you're
was,
gonna tell us about it here in a second.
I will.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got.
I mean,
I'm gonna. Speaking of time, though, I want to set a time. I want to set a timer. Okay. I'm gonna put my timer on the screen. Okay. Just so you guys can see it.
Are we letting Pong talk again?
No. Yeah. All right, Pong. What are your?
Oh, we love
I
you,
got a
Pong.
timer going. Okay. When this hits 10 minutes, this is when we're gonna stop. But put 1 in the chat if you want a chance to win Outriders for Xbox. Okay.
oh, yeah.
So you have until this timer it hits 10 minutes. Once it's done, I'm going to it's gonna be over, and we're gonna do we'll end up doing the giveaway during the show. But this is your opportunity. Put a 1 in the chat if you want a chance to win Outriders for Xbox.
No,
Pong.
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 Can I join? Can I join?
Yeah.
Can all the panel join?
Hey,
that's
put a 2 in the
wrong.
chat if you think the panel can join.
No, that's wrong.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be for our viewers.
Probably
I am a
not.
viewer.
Speak
I'm
for
viewing
yourself,
right now.
They'll
Lupa.
think it's rigged.
I
if
liked and
somebody's
shared
on.
this out, so I'm in.
I'll do
Dude,
that.
that's Psychonauts.
Oh,
Nice.
thank you.
All right. No. So tell us what just happened. Did somebody crash into your house? 3-bit?
So I have
Right.
like a light pole in front of my house.
Light
Everybody,
pole?
yeah, just like a light pole that like my neighbors do not have. I'm the only one. I'm the only house that has a light pole. Also, who just donated? I didn't see.
Arsonist, thank you, dude. I appreciate it, man. You're
Aw,
awesome.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
Arsonist,
much.
you're awesome.
Ryan,
Love
you're
Noob
the
and
best.
Pro.
Thank you.
Everybody go check out Noob and Pros. They're awesome.
Mm.
So I have a light pole. I'm the only one. I'm the only neighbor that has it, or the only person in my neighborhood that has it. And someone crashed into it. And
You crash into the only light pole
the only
in the fucking neighborhood.
Yeah.
You're like one of those,
And-
like you're like a mosquito going for one of those like light things. Like, oh,
Attracted to the lights.
I think the person who was driving was drunk because when I came out there,
Probably.
well, first off, I'm a little tipsy, so
Hey, let me help you. I'm 3-bit.
But-
I'm just doing a podcast
Like,
right
hey,
now.
you're-
Let me
I'm
help.
happy
I get like a
podcast.
message from 3-bit. He's like, some crazy shit's going down, and his face like changed drastically, and then he disappeared. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Because I don't know if you guys heard it. I just heard it.
Did you walk out with your wine glass like you usually hold it like this? You know. Hey.
Look at his
Today-
wine glass tonight. Look at
today,
it.
I
He's
just
using
have
a
the
straw.
straw.
Okay, you
Today
got
I
the
just
straw
have the
tonight.
straw.
Okay.
No,
Is that a Taco Bell cup?
It is. I ordered Taco Bell.
I thought you swore it on.
Fucking
great.
classy, y'all. He's so classy.
Classy today. So I go out there and this one couple, I guess they're arguing I don't know.
Because
And
somebody just crashed into the fucking pole. I'd be arguing too.
yeah, so they're arguing about the poll, and I'm just talking with them and getting their information, all that stuff. I don't know. It's my light pole, I guess. So
It's the
Yeah, I don't
city's
know.
light pole?
Do you
own the light pole?
He needed to be sure. Okay.
I
You
want
need
to
to file
know if you
insurance
took
My
the
light pole.
driving test.
I'm like, what do
breathalyzer.
I do in this situation? So I'm talking to them, and they're arguing with each other. I'm just like, hey, how you doing? That's my light pole.
It's not
You
your
should have
light
invited
pole.
him on the show. You should have asked him into the
You
house.
should
and
have.
brought him
We
on
could
the
have got
show.
their side of the story.
I didn't really know what to do. So I was just out there talking with them. They were like, I was like in the conversation, but I wasn't even a part of the conversation.
Yeah.
So I didn't really know.
So all you said
was how did the
"That's my
car
light
look?
You
What kind of
just
car
went
was it? Was it
outside
a
and said,
car?
"Hi,
It was like a SUV.
this is my
like
light
a
pole."
silver. Yeah, I'm just like, hey, my light pole. I got their information. They live in my neighborhood, so I'll talk with them later. And I left. I'm like, I got a show to do, so here, here I am, and yeah. So that's
so
what
funny.
happened. They're my neighbors.
When you
so-
said it, I like the first thought in my mind. I'm not even gonna lie. I told them to. I'm like, the first thought was your mom's bus. I was like, somebody hit his mom's bus.
I'm so glad they did not
Yeah.
hit it, because it's like, here's like the light pole, and like here's the bus. I'm so glad they did not hit the freaking bus.
Wow.
That was like my first thought, like though, because I'm like, it's a new bus on the street.
Can you?
That was
you
my
demon-
first thought, because
Can you
I thought guys
demonstrate that
heard it.
again? Where it was?
I thought you guys heard like the and that's when you
No.
saw my face. I don't know if people could go back and
I was
play.
watching it.
And I was just like, what was that? And then I just get text messages from like my family and stuff.
So is this a
And,
city light pole?
I guess it's the city.
No, it's 3 bits.
Sorry, I'm just
3
curious.
bits.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll find out later.
Light pole.
I'll
Hey,
You get the bill
is
from the
it
city.
ruined 3
Yeah.
bit?
yeah.
How messed up is your light pole at this very moment?
It just has a huge dent in it. I
God,
think
it
it's fine.
didn't.
So could you
Curving-
use that? Could
curving
you
slightly to
repurpose
the
it
left.
and
Just
put
like-
it in the bus? Can that be our pole for the bus?
Does it still light up?
Oh, can it be the pole for a bus?
Yes.
I think it's too. I mean, you could maybe.
He's like, it's a very large pole.
Showing what we would do.
It's
Hey,
really
Very
big.
girthy. It's a girthy pole. Caitlin.
Yeah,
It's
Sorry.
girthy.
Oh,
Maybe.
it's girthy.
Is it
It's a
still
little
lighting up the
ditzy light
street?
pole.
I mean, do you need to go stand out there with a flashlight,
No,
people?
it is no
I
longer
think he
working.
does mean a
Oh, no.
lamppost, Indy, right?
It's no longer working?
Indeed.
Not
Yes.
working.
Lamppost.
Oh no, they
No.
broke it.
Yeah, they definitely broke.
Oh
so-
no, the light. So now you have a dark.
Dark
Should have got
street.
the police
yeah.
and had them breath tested, because they're probably going sideways into a light post,
Yeah.
lamppost. They're probably off the tits.
Yeah, the neighbors came out and it was a whole thing. So the neighbors saw it
And
too.
then 3-bit was just like, yo, this is my light pole. I'm getting their
Uh,
information. I'm going back inside. You guys got this.
It's fine. You guys,
This is
I have your
fine.
info. I'll deal with you later. I'm trying to do
So in a-
ultimate right now.
In America, is
Uh-huh.
that what you call a lamppost, a light pole?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
a
You,
lamppost.
I mean,
Very
what do you
original.
call it?
Yeah.
A
What do you call it?
lamppost.
It's a
A
pole
lamppost?
It's
with
a
a
lamp
light
on a
on
bloody
it.
stick.
It's a
It's
light
the
pole.
lamppost.
Just
Yeah,
a
and it
light
puts-
on
it
a
puts on
bloody
light.
pole. It's a
Yeah,
light
there's
on a
no-
bloody pole.
We don't use lamps anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
not a
what do I
lamp.
call it?
You guys still fill yours up with oil and
Yeah,
then
we
light
do.
them?
Yeah.
You got like
Yeah.
the guy going
It's
around.
very authentic. Looks very Victorian over here.
Yeah. You-
Sometimes it looks like it's in the dark ages.
You got the guy with the damper on the stick going around and reaching
Yep.
into the lantern and
Everybody just hangs out outside. Hello, George. Thank you.
hello there.
Hello, Mary.
Cheerio. I'm
7
just
o'clock
putting out
and
the
there's all
lights
as
for the
well.
evening.
You get to meet people in it, because like I would never know him if he didn't come around and light me lamp every night.
See you
The
tomorrow, Governor.
randomest stuff always happens to me. It's freaking weird.
Yeah. Tornado
Why is
2
this
weeks
weird?
ago
Yeah.
during the podcast.
Do you toss
Yeah,
your
well-
bedpans out the window too?
Yeah, there's so
Now, do
many
you
bring
ways
out
to
your
raise
dead?
The third eye, street light,
Like how I'm wondering like
post.
how, because if you see my street, it's like it's not like the lamppost is in the middle of the street, right? You
Obviously
go over the
not.
curb.
Well, I would
that'd
hope
be
not.
bad. Hey guys, you got
It'd be
The light post in the
dangerous.
middle of the
They,
street.
a little
so they
over
went over the
3
curb.
minutes left to type 1 in the chat. If you
one
haven't done
in
so
the
already.
chat for a chance at Outriders on Xbox, you guys.
Yeah.
So
well,
in 3
it's a
bits house, you gotta
big
swerve
game.
away from the lamppost that's in the middle of the road.
Extravaganza.
So Lupa, you never heard anyone call it a light? What did I call it?
Me nor Indy
pole?
have
pole.
no.
Light
It's a
pole.
light
I
pole.
called it
Light
street
No,
light.
not a light pole gives me
street
visions
light.
of Harry Potter
Or
with a
street
little
light.
blinker on the end of his wand.
Well,
It was always come.
Which
I
one?
always had to come home before the street light went down.
Yeah, which one?
Turns on.
Cyber Gunner said this is the
We're
ultimate
so
light
rich
pole
over here, the
podcast.
council don't bother to turn them off. Most of the time, they're still on till the morning.
Oh man.
We're just trying to figure out if this is the ultimate light pole podcast or the ultimate lamp post podcast. We'll come with
It's a street lamp
decision.
come lamp post come light post. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's
you
a
say
light
come
on
light
the end of a
post?
stick. Light post, light pole.
Who comes at the end of the stick?
Me usually. I don't know.
wow.
What?
Is Caitlin's mom still in chat?
No.
Oh, she had to go.
No.
She left
Yeah.
earlier.
No, she left.
But
I
she-
didn't have
Yeah.
said that otherwise.
She loves your accent though, Lupa.
Yeah, she did say.
All right.
So random.
Hey,
Don't go over
lady,
curbs. Don't
Did
don't
you
crash.
see? Did you see
see.
the advert for the washing machines on Twitter?
Okay, so guys.
As soon as I saw it, I thought, oh no, lady's gonna get me here.
No, it's not even like so. Lupa, I just want to say that every time I did laundry while you were missing, while you were gone, I thought of you. Like I was like, I wonder what Lupa's doing right now. Like
Not the
literally
damn laundry.
every single time. That is where
Oh,
my head
good.
went. I was like, where's Lupa?
My head didn't go there.
Yeah, I thought of her too when I was on the washer. I mean, doing laundry.
I mean, on the
I know, right?
washing.
I mean, it's part of the daily routine, guys. Come on.
Oh man. While you're on the
My
water.
washer
where
is
is this
definitely a
conversation
little bit
going?
more crazy.
Where is this
Right.
going?
You don't remember that?
We all have a drink now, and
remember that,
that's what happened
Cybernuts?
in Rocket League.
Does
And it
Blue
got a
Dragon have any like suction cup?
Yeah, the suction cup
You can
things. I
suction
thought I
it
don't
right
want
to the
them.
washer.
Yes, it is.
Like
Take your
everybody.
ride to the next level, guys.
Yeah, I mean, she was
Happening, but
really
Caitlin, I
happy
can't
to
see your
lean on
face.
that
We're having
washer.
a-
Someone should clip all of the guys' expressions right there. That was freaking hilarious.
And when,
I don't
when
even
she
think Mav
put the
made an
sucker cups
expression.
on the feet, she didn't look so happy, did she?
No. Yeah, no. No, I don't know, maybe. But no, I just want to say that was totally a thing. Every time I do laundry now to this day, I'm just like, oh,
Stuck
Lupa,
in the middle of
wonder
your
what
head, like-
Lupa's doing.
Why have you done this to me?
You did it to yourself.
Don't tell me you never tried it though after.
Mine doesn't
It didn't
like
do anything
shake
for
a
me.
lot.
I don't know.
I have a very expensive washing and dryer.
the old school washer and dryer machines. So
But you made me want to go to the laundromat, so there's
The
that.
laundromat when it's closed at night. Oh, it's like freaking
It made it
Disneyland for
unlevel
Lupa.
on purpose. Oh.
Yeah.
Lady
I put,
walks
like,
into the
5
laundromat with a
blankets in
roll
my
of
shit.
quarters and no clothes whatsoever. She just
Yeah.
walks in with
And
the quarters.
just like 8 comforters. Just like 8 comforters. I'm like, I'm gonna put these all
that's great.
Put all these, ram them in.
We're making it happen.
Oh dear.
Hey, babe.
Yeah, honey.
We ought to change the
Can
subject
you
now.
like?
Everybody
if I
in
send
chat's
you a
like,
link,
what's happening?
Can you like put
What's
it up
up,
on
Paul?
a screen for the giveaway?
Yeah. Oh, it's been 10 minutes, guys. It's been 12.
But it looks like it's 12.
We were talking about important.
Hey, I
things.
couldn't interrupt that conversation.
Yeah.
I just had to
I'm
see where it was
sorry.
going.
What's
Well,
happening?
you knew where it was
I
going.
Okay.
feel worse for the people in chat who weren't
Can't-
there and
can't
part
see
of
what
the
they
other
weren't
night.
there.
You have no
Yeah,
clue what's
chat has
happening.
no idea. They're like, what the fuck are they going on about a washer?
You have to go back
dryer?
and watch the
Like,
Rocket
what
League
the
video,
fuck?
Mav put up.
Yes, watch the Rocket League.
I was looking for
Oh,
the
yeah.
Rocket League video because I could play it.
Motherfucking Rocket League.
Don't, please, my reputation will be in tatters. Don't do it.
Oh wait, here it is.
Oh gosh.
Oh, here we go. I think this is gonna work.
Rocket League.
See, that's where you guys met. That's where you guys won me over.
Fucking Rocket League.
Yeah, it was.
These are my people. Who knew? Who knew that
Wait,
was
that's the whole. That's the
at
whole
me.
stream. Y'all don't want to watch
Look at
three. Y'all don't want to watch 3.5 hours of that right now, do you guys?
You flipped it.
You clicked it. It's on a video. That
Oh, you know
clicked
what?
like a
The
little
audio
short bit.
was fucking playing from that. I'm sorry. That was a. Hey, I made a big boo boo right there,
Get your
guys.
shit together.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I don't know how that happened.
Hey, the gaming perspective. I'm sorry. I'm used to talking to the chat.
Let me remove that. Yeah, that was the wrong video. That was the original OG stream. You don't want that. But hey, it's okay.
We don't want the 3-hour version.
Yeah, the 3-hour version.
No. It brought it all
be-
back to me when I was playing Rocket League last week with, I think it was last week or so, with Husk, and we were laughing so much. We were playing competitive Rocket League and getting very close to being these people.
Dude, it's so funny because I had Husk, or I saw you guys playing, and I was like, oh, Lupa and Husk are playing.
Yeah, we were just
Rocket
bored. And we
League.
just wanted to do something fun, and then all we were having a right laugh, and then Husk's Xbox just shut down for no reason.
Yeah,
Dude,
that was
he's
about the
having
time I was trying to get
so
in.
many issues lately. I feel so bad for him.
He is, bless him.
Hey, Mars.
Hi, Mars.
Hey, babe.
Hey,
I
Mars.
put in chat.
Yeah, baby.
Hi, Mars.
Can you?
Hey, stars.
I sent you a link on Twitter
Yep.
and a list of the names. Can you put that up on the screen and do it?
Yes. Okay, so I have the
Probably
Rocket
still
League
have
song.
them.
Do y'all
My
want
bad.
that or no? Put a 3 in the chat if you actually want to hear this song.
I'd appreciate
Like,
it.
I don't want to
Put a
torture
7.
you unless you want it.
No, we
Do you
all
want it? Do you really want it?
Yeah, I think the chat wants. The chat wants it. Look at them.
I'm gonna ban you.
Okay. I'm not seeing any response.
Find
so-
out.
except for Psychonauts himself.
He's abusing his mod position.
Yeah.
He is.
Okay, there's a couple. All right.
Well,
No,
there is
holy
a
crap.
quite a
Okay.
few.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
Girl.
Rain
Like,
rain
okay.
cleared high.
3,333
Fractions.
billion.
Here we go.
Now that
Really
Avish has
wants
accepted
to
the
see it
licensing
here.
agreement, we can now play Rocket League again.
Are you ready to Rocket League? Now we gotta talk about what we gotta talk about. Alright? So ready? Play it fucking Rocket League, Rocket League, Rocket League. You can get it from behind.
What we need is more Rocket League.
Have you ever sat on a washing machine and got yourself on?
What?
Play it fucking Rocket League, Rocket League, Rocket League. Play it fucking Rocket League, Rocket League, Rocket League. Play it fucking Rocket League, Rocket League, Rocket League.
Bomber, just get in here. Bomber, just shoot up perfect.
Yeah.
Play it fucking Rocket League, Rocket League, Rocket League.
Fucking fire shit off the presses. I got a fever, and the only prescription is more Rocket League.
On Fireside, it has to happen. Like I can't live the rest of my life knowing I could have had Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken would love to be on Fireside News Radio. Anytime we would love to have him. I missed the ball.
Oh no.
Yes, Toss, go, Toss, go, Toss.
God, that was such a fucking good night. It was so solid. Y'all, that's what you're missing on Aftercast hours. Those are the fucking, that's what you're missing on Nap Stream.
I think he said special.
Can I have that then?
And he meant to say special. It just came out a little funny.
Special.
It came out a little
special. Well, sometimes I'm a little special.
Okay, I had to let it go to the end because Husk was great. All right, guys. So that was just random clips that I put together from one of our nights of playing games and the audio that comes out of our mouths. Sometimes, yeah. I hope you enjoyed that. I guess. This is the thing that lets me do the audio. Like I can play this shit for you guys. You know what I mean? So, I like the setup, being able to do that. So. All right, so we got to do this giveaway. All right, and shout out to Bomber in the chat who just made his appearance at just the right time.
As soon as his voice came up on the video, and he typed in chat like, "Hey guys," I was like, "Whoa, whoa,
freaky shit,
fucking
The
weird."
universe spoke, and he answered.
Bomber's one of my favorite people, absolute favorite people on this whole planet.
Oh yeah,
and
check
Bomber,
out
I wouldn't
his.
know all of you.
Check out his new OnlyFans page, guys. He just got it going. It's struggling right now. He needs your help.
Struggling, but he is also what is it? Sponsored. He's sponsored by
the
bearded
stuff.
The beard.
The beard stuff. Check out his pin tweet. Yeah.
It's called the beard stuff.
It's a beard
check
stuff.
it out.
He's actually
sponsored.
I didn't miss that. Hey, congratulations on the sponsorship.
Yeah,
I know
he is sponsored by a beard company now.
Nice, dude. That's impressive. You know, it takes some good hair.
I ordered from it just recently, and I still can't remember the name of it.
All right. So this, what am I supposed to be doing, babe?
Pick a winner. Pick a winner.
Outriders.
You're supposed to put that link up on the screen, and you just put the names I sent you.
No, did you DM it to me? Okay.
I said that I sent it to you on Twitter.
Okay.
Mav's using his usual good hearing.
Just selective hearing when it comes to me.
Yeah. Like
that's
what?
Something just comes
Kaitlin.
with age and lifetime together.
Oh, these are fake names that are in there right now.
Yes.
Okay.
Erase those and put the list I sent you in.
Step by step.
This fucking guy.
Day by day. All right. Here we go. And away we go. Let's spin the wheel.
Are you doing it on stream?
Yeah.
Okay.
Eternal Umbra.
Yeah.
Is that a laugh?
That's so funny because he just put in chat like, "Please pick me."
Where did that come from?
Oh, he's like, pick me as the winner.
Yeah, and then you picked him. That's funny.
Hey, so Eternal Umbra, here's how you can claim your prize. DM me, Fun Speculation on Twitter, @Fun Speculation. Send me a DM. Say, hey, I'm Eternal Umbra. Make sure you put your actual name in the chat here so somebody doesn't try and be sly and steal your code. So yeah, let me know who you are on Twitter. Send me a DM. I will send you the code. Sound like a plan? It does to me. Congratulations, Eternal Umbra.
I like your plan.
Thank you to Italian Clowns.
The great plan.
The godfather of respect, master of 4GQ TV, for providing us that code to give away. Make sure you guys check out 4GQ TV, where you can catch me on there Thursday nights as well. Thanks again, Clowns.
Maybe. We'll see. I'm just kidding.
No, for sure.
Dude, I'm sorry.
Definitely be there. All right.
No, it'll be fun. That's my kind of
I
environment.
got my popcorn ready.
I got mine too, Pom. I'm ready.
We're waiting.
That's where I shine.
Yeah. Hey, these guys. So there was a little drama on Twitter today between me and somebody.
No.
Now he's spilling it. Look at this.
No, just nothing serious. But I appreciate you guys having my back. So thank you.
Hey, we're fam, man. We're family.
That's
what we do.
Like I
Always
said,
have each other's back.
any reason to be in my
We
element.
ain't friends.
We count the bodies together. Don't worry.
Exactly.
We're family.
And we hide the
About
bodies together.
2,000
That too.
between us.
All right. So hey,
I woke up. I'm like, what? What the heck is going on?
It's so funny too because 3-Bit was like messaging me like kind of like sporadically through the morning, and I'm like, how are you missing all of this? But then he was like,
Me
oh, I'm
too.
up, and I'm like, but you've been messaging me for 4 hours. What have you been doing? Like just like rolling over and been
In
like
his sleep.
random response.
Yeah.
Go back to sleep. Random
That's pretty much what I do. Like respond,
Yeah.
sleep,
response.
freaking tired.
I
Yeah,
just
he's
don't
been a busy
understand how
guy.
anybody can attack Mav. It's a nice
Yeah,
guy.
no. There's it takes
all right. So we also have. I wanted to talk about. I know we don't have a lot. We've been going almost 2 hours already. It feels like we just started. I don't know.
I know. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
It's crazy.
Because we have a good chemistry together.
It's because
It's
I love
our-
you guys.
It's our chemistry.
Aw.
I spread my love.
Oh,
Wait.
I think
Oh, my.
I feel like I need to.
Regular.
we get it.
I feel like I need to unleash Pong. He's like sitting there waiting to chomp at something serious, and I need to like unleash him and let loose on something, and I have just the perfect thing.
I let loose on Kojima.
Unleash the
Yeah, you
beast.
did.
Yeah,
I'm fine.
I know.
Kojima is like
Pong, be
big.
fun. Join in on the other stuff.
I have been.
No, he's
You haven't heard me talking?
No, Pong's awesome.
I think we
My mic working?
That's when we're all doing this.
we may have
Here,
killed his
Mike is-
vibe with the It Takes Two.
Mhm.
yeah. We're trying to get him on the It Takes Two train.
No,
No.
But it's
I
not
feel
gonna
like
happen.
me and Pong are just as excited for freaking Kojima. I think it's just
Yeah.
like such
Yeah.
I had a big
huge-
conversation about it. What the
Yeah.
hell?
I'm
This
just
is
messing
rip
with
on
you.
Pong?
No,
Face
no, it's
or-
not rip on Pong. I want to. I'm saying I
Every
want to
night will
give
be
you
rip on
this
you, Pong,
bone
night
right
I'm
now.
here.
I want to hear you.
I want to give you this
There goes
bone,
Pong.
Pong. Wait, is his mic
Pong,
not
come back.
working? Pong.
No, he's gone.
Pong.
Okay, there he is. I missed him
Ding
already. All right, Pong.
Hey, he's back.
Can you change your background to something a little less creepy?
No.
Pee-wee's Playhouse.
He has the most popular background of anybody tonight. I've seen several comments about.
Everybody has been talking about it.
yeah.
I am not a fan.
Thank you, Bomber.
You never
Appreciate
had
it.
furniture talk to you, lady?
On.
Never a fan of Pee Wee. I was never. I always, even when I was a young child, I was like, oh, this guy fucking creeps me out.
You
man."
never wished you had a cherry in your house? Come on.
About like Ronald McDonald.
No, okay. So, I don't know if you know, like,
I want the genie.
fuck, what was the clown chick who had like the giant chair? Like I would take one of her
yeah.
chairs.
Yeah, I can't remember the name, but yeah.
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 I think she called it.
Oh, the
chair
little
chair.
like Raggedy Ann chick.
Yeah, the
with
little Raggedy Ann
yeah.
chick. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd take her chair, but no, not Pee Wee's.
I would be afraid to sit on
Ronald
one of those
McDonald
chairs
always
because I
creeps
would
me
be
out.
afraid they would eat my ass.
Absolutely, 100%. Look at the toilet. Like, have
Wait,
you
is
ever
that
seen his toilet?
Is that a negative?
What?
Not to me.
Is that a negative? Oh, Pong. You look for those chairs. That's your real fucking living room actually
Where is
behind you.
that
You just
chair?
finally got rid of your fake background. Hey,
Everybody's like, coming to Pong's house. Yo, I need this fucking chance on the chair, yo.
Yeah.
nice.
Let me enjoy that ride. Come on.
Hey,
Oh my god.
so here's where I was
Good,
going because
freaking
I wanted Pong's thoughts on this because the controversy that was going on today, not with me, but with PlayStation, right? And a lot of the conversation I've seen has been involving like the counter direction for PlayStation versus Xbox. And there's some popular PlayStation personalities and guys out there that are like kind of saying, hey, this is like, this is not cool, right? What's going on with the direction? They're starting to get worried and stuff. But then on the other side, you have Game Pass, right? And then you have smart delivery. You have FPS Boost. You have backwards compatibility for multiple generations. You have cross saves. You have all of this stuff, right? Namely smart delivery, which makes one of the and FPS Boost and all that stuff makes kind of what they were talking about happening with PlayStation today like irrelevant almost in some ways. So like, what do you think that the overwhelmingly cool stuff that Xbox has been doing for the consumer and stuff with Game Pass and all these other things is affecting the narrative, and it's starting to sway people to where they are seeing their own brands a little differently now than they have before, because you know what, before they didn't have this to compare anything to. Everything was gravy, right? And you're so hard set on one platform. Okay, I love Nintendo, right? I'm great with that. I like Nintendo. I'm super happy with everything, right? But you didn't have Game Pass to compare it to. You didn't have smart delivery. You didn't have backwards compatibility stuff to compare that shit to, right? On PlayStation, you're happy with the, hey, we got these badass AAA games that are amazing. We can only get these on our platform, right? But you didn't have smart delivery to compare it to. You didn't have backwards compatibility that Xbox has got to compare it to. You didn't have all this stuff to compare it to. FBS Boost, auto HDR, all of this stuff, right? Now, Xbox has been killing it so much with all of this stuff, and it's like people are all of a sudden making a big deal about something that they used to not care about. Do you think that's influence from Xbox, or like what's going on there?
Well, that's what happens when you're used to being on the winning team for so long, right? I mean, that's Microsoft's fault, Xbox's fault for how they, screwed up last gen. And it put PlayStation into the position of being the dominant force, besides Nintendo. But Nintendo, again, swims in their own pond, so I don't even really consider them. Nintendo's always going to be doing their own thing, but because there was this rivalry or this competition that people created, even though I think it's stupid, these are companies. We're just customers. That's why I never understood this brand loyalty that you project all this stuff onto the competing customers. It's just dumb. But I think that's what happened. But it's Microsoft coming back. It's Microsoft waking up and making Xbox, deciding that Xbox is a major pillar of their $2 trillion corporation. This is what happens. Anybody who knows the video game industry has seen this time and time again. There's every generation is a new generation. It starts over from scratch. Okay, whatever happened last time does not indicate what's going to happen this generation. We've seen it time and time again. Some of the younger crowd may have not seen it as many times. But when it comes to this, what happened was Microsoft fell off last gen. They made their mistakes. They tripped up. They were almost out of the business. And then Phil showed up on the scene. And Phil and Satya, because again, this is not just Phil himself. He needed the head of Microsoft to believe that video games were more than just a fun little side gig for Microsoft as a corporation, right? Phil knew that to compete in this space, to get Microsoft to climb out of the hole that they were in, that they were going to have the full backing. He couldn't do it without that, and he got it. He got a seat at the big table. The Xbox division is now a part of the future of Microsoft as a whole. They are no longer, again, they're no longer relegated to, go play with your toys, have some fun, but don't spend a lot of money, right? That's what it always seemed like for a long time after the 360 generation. The 360 came off a massive generation, but when they stumbled out of the gates in 2013 and they didn't see a way out of it, then they kind of withdrew the wallet and withdrew all their support and said, yeah, we don't know if we want to be in this game anymore. And that's a pun intended, but that's what happened there. And Phil convinced Satya that no. We've got a vision. We can do this, but I need your help. And he got everybody else to listen to him as well. He corrected the leadership problems that they had. He got a good group of people together with Matt Booty, with Sarah Bond, Greenberg, Larry Erb, and he put those guys in a position so that they could recreate what Xbox was going to be. And that, now that we see it, is Game Pass. Game Pass is the platform going forward. So the guys on the other side, right? They've been so used to winning. It's like the New England Patriots fans or the Yankee fans, when they're on a roll and they're dominating for years and years and years, it's hard to see your team fall down. And a lot of the people that are Sony fans, were probably pretty young when the PlayStation 3 happened, right? And people don't remember how bad the start of the PlayStation 3 was and what that felt like. So a lot of people are just used to winning, or, again, I say winning because this is stupid, but this is what it is. So
I hate it. I hate it.
It's so dumb.
Fucking despise it when people say winning. Like, I hate it.
Yes, I know. So do I. But it's the only term because that's what they act like. It feels like we're, again, we see it in sports too. It's that rivalry. It's that whatever, and people do it with everything nowadays, and it's dumb. But be that as it may, that's what they're used to seeing. They're used to getting their way. They're used to having their team on top the entire time and kicking the little guy when he's down. Well, the little guy happens to be a giant monster, and people forget about that. And now the giant monster's woken up, okay, and he's not going to take it anymore, and he's swinging back. And suddenly it's $1 trillion company versus $1 billion company. And the difference between $1 trillion company and $1 billion company is large. Okay. That's large. Both have a lot of money, but one pile of money is a mountain compared to a molehill. And this is what's happening. So now that Microsoft is starting to win and they are getting their narrative straight, except, they still had their mistake, obviously trying to double, Xbox Live price and all that kind of stuff. That was a stumble. But besides that, they have been on an absolute roll. And this is what they planned from the beginning, and they're seeing it. So it's hard for the Sony guys now. It's easy to forgive what your team's doing when you're winning all the time, even if there's flaws. And one of the flaws of Sony is that they're not involved with their community. They are a very tight-lipped company. They're not transparent. They don't tell people what they're doing, let alone their customers. They tell you when they're ready to tell you. Whereas Microsoft has the complete opposite approach in many ways. They are visible. Phil is out there at the head of Xbox, but he's out in the community. People know who Phil is, or at least think they do, but they know him. They know he's a gamer. He's one of us. He's a nice guy, whatever else. He's been out in front.
One of us.
Yeah, right. Sony does not have that, right? Sony is a straight corporation. So now what you're seeing is that these W's are mounting up. We have this figure in Phil that everybody can look to and say, thank you, Phil. This is amazing. Blah, blah, blah. Thank you for doing this. And of course it's his whole team and a lot more people involved. But again, it's just like a quarterback of a football team. They get the praise when things are going well, and they take all the heat when things are going bad. And that's what's happening. But this is what's going on. And the other side now is looking at this saying, why isn't Sony talking to us? What are they doing? Why aren't they telling us anything? And that's the hard part that people have with dealing with this thing. Why aren't they listening to us?
Well, Sony's never been transparent.
Correct.
They've never been transparent.
Right. But when you're winning, that's exactly you are hitting the nail on the head.
I know. I get it.
That's what happens, because when you're winning, you don't think about that stuff. But when it's not going the way that you think it should, then all of a sudden
I hate that you keep saying winning, Pong.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna keep bringing it up. I don't think anybody's winning. Nobody's winning. Nobody's doing something. Everybody's heading in different directions. Maybe not. I feel like this has been something that's been happening for years too. Like, I don't think anybody ever. At least I don't think the heads ever looked at it like, oh, this is a fucking competition, But maybe it's because I've owned every console, and it was never something that I was like, oh wait, this is something that we're supposed to be fighting over. Like, you guys don't play on the Xbox and the PlayStation and the Nintendo. Like, what are you doing with your lives?
And I think what Pong is speaking to is almost not necessarily like what we actually see. It's like what the
people I know on the social media.
And also speaking about the specific attitude that
from the perspective of who has the market share also with the companies, because back when this is what got Xbox into trouble, right? Because back in the original Xbox in the early 360 days, they were super involved with the community like they are now. And then they got really cocky, and then they kind of got rid of a lot of the community stuff that they had involved. They got rid of some of the even people that were involved with the community. They let them go and stuff. And it's like the whole shift in attitude changed because they didn't have to worry about that, according to them. It's because people forget back in those 360 days, they were the market share leader between them and PlayStation for the whole generation in the US, right? So which was the main audience. Like PS3 gained a lot of ground because of the Blu-ray player, right? And once the Blu-ray player won the format war or whatever for Blu-ray, and it was the cheapest way to get a Blu-ray player, the PS3 started screaming back, and then the exclusives finally started getting better at the end of the PS3 era. It was at the end of the PS3 era, and then they rode that momentum with the cocky Microsoft at the time that lost touch with the player base, and now it's come full circle. This is exactly what is happening now is what happened back in 2013. And when I think you're saying like winning, you're necessarily talking about like our perspective. You're talking about more of like the company's perspective that we're in the lead.
I get that.
People
But it's-
get their businesses and they're out to make money. And
Right.
I don't want PlayStation to go anywhere because while PlayStation and Xbox are competing, and with Nintendo even as
Makes
well,
it better for everybody.
it makes
Absolutely.
it better for us gamers.
Why are we
because
competing
that's
with
what's
Nintendo?
made Microsoft pick up their damn game.
Yeah.
But and what happened too is Sony switched their whole leadership, and now you're seeing a different vision from Sony, and it doesn't match up to what was the past. And that's
Shuhei
why everybody
Yoshida,
today,
Sean Layden.
yes, that's why everybody today was screaming for Layden to come back again.
Yeah, I seen that clip of
I
Sean.
do think they need to
sorry.
get rid of those stuffed shirts at Sony and put into the
That's what-
people that are younger and know gaming.
And earlier
business.
today, so
I can't say that. You can't really say that people who are younger. Like I get that, but
Well,
then you
not
have people
younger,
our
but like-
age. Like,
Yeah,
and
but I mean,
Lupa, you're even
there's
older
stuff
in a
that-
way.
Yeah, they're businessmen though.
Yeah.
Well,
They're
Ryan's
not,
a straight
like,
numbers
in the
guy.
gaming
Yeah.
circle. They don't really
Yeah.
know what.
You're right, Lupa. You're absolutely right. Because Ryan's a straight numbers guy.
Yes,
I mean,
that's all
he
he
came
cares
out and
about.
He's
he-
CEO. He's
yeah, and that's
he's
why he got the
business.
spot. I mean,
And
to be
flying
fair,
Ryan.
to give him credit, he is the guy who led, PlayStation to a win. Again, I'm using that term in Europe last gen. So he was heading that division. But again, and I'm sure the people at the top of Sony love him because he's a numbers guy and he's going to drive the numbers. And that's what he's doing. He's reinventing their vision based upon numbers, but you lose the culture of gaming. You lose what got you to that point when you forget about why you are where you are, whereas Layden and Yoshida and those guys were all very personable and amongst the community and gamers themselves, much like Phil, and they understood what the gamers were looking for. Whereas now you got a guy who just seemingly is looking at spreadsheets and saying, where can we cut the fat? That's why you see the Japanese studios closing down.
And that's why you
and
see the
s-
flip flopping.
I mean,
Right,
yeah, that's
exactly.
where Sony is sort of headed. I mean, I seen a clip earlier today of Sean Layden. People was saying like why they liked them, I guess, and it was a clip going around basically saying that one of these games is not meant to make $1 million something, but we did it for the fans. And I forgot what game that was for. Maybe someone in chat can know what I'm talking about. But that sort of spoke to the Sony today, based on just Schreier's report of them making games for, just for AAA, kind of. And it's again, I said this in the beginning of the show. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't think. I think it's just a different approach compared to Xbox. Just like focusing on AAA experiences, and of course they are allocating the Bend studio towards Naughty Dog, basically remaking Last of Us 2 or Last of Us 1. But I think at the same time there is, like, you think of a game like It Takes Two, right? That's an indie game, and if Sony's not going to make those type of experiences where it's like smaller, but to me it can be like more intimate, more personable. Like a lot of indie games I play are very much like smaller experiences, but at the same time I can get more out of that than like a AAA game sometimes. So it sucks that like Sony is focusing more on the AAA experience. Like yes, I love AAA games for sure. but if that's all they're focusing on, I think they'd be mistaken, especially if the team, like Ben Studio, wants to work on something else. And it seems like they wanted to work on something else, like a Days Gone 2. And they couldn't because they told that team to work on The Last of Us remake. So, yeah, I mean, there are benefits to that. I think they are the best in the business when it comes to making AAA games. And
Absolutely.
especially with
I don't
third
think
person,
anybody argues that. Yeah.
no one comes
No
close to
one's
that yet. And of course, Xbox has a lot of studios, and they're going to probably prove
some cool stuff's coming out of those
Yeah.
studios.
there's definitely
22. But I wanted to say that everybody says that Sony have taken over Europe and the UK especially, and I have to say more people in the UK that I know of play Xbox and not PlayStation. So I don't know where this stats come from, unless it's from, the rest of Europe. But also Sony is Microsoft still base most of their stuff, and even Sony, in the US, and they don't reach out very much to the smaller communities like Europe and UK and stuff like that. I think that it's they've got to do more to reach out to outside of the US. I think that would help. And I can tell you a story right now. My son is an avid PS player, and he was been playing PS since he was like 7-8 year old. And a month ago, he rang me and said, "Mum, what the hell am I going to do? I am so bored with PlayStation. What's Xbox like?" Once I'd gone through a couple of hours of telling him how exponentially better Xbox is for him, you could pick up a Series S for $250, and then you can pay like £10 a month for Game Pass. And if you pay the little extra for Ultimate, you will get like 300 games there in your lap the minute you plug it in. And he was like, "Really?" And when I told him what games were in Game Pass, he said, "It's a done deal. I'm moving to Xbox."
That's where that GameStop deal is actually pretty smart, because I'm hearing more and more stories about like people going to GameStop, and of course, Xbox has the marketing thing rights there or whatever, and they're trying to decide which console to buy. And then they're like, "Hey, with this console you get Game Pass, subscription where you get hundreds of games." And people are like, "Really?" I think people get in the mindset where the console wars, where people are like, I'm pro Sony, I'm pro Xbox, but in reality, people are just looking for the best deal. I think, at least.
Yeah, value speaks, right?
I know it can get very lost in the Twitter verse, where people are, either Team Xbox, Team Sony, Team Nintendo, whatever.
That's why I don't spend time on Twitter.
Yeah, it can get, you can think that's your worldview of what consoles are actually like, or what the console were, or whatever is actually like. But in reality, people are always going to look for the best deal. And right now, Game Pass is the best deal. So I think
it's not just Game Pass though. It's like because the value also goes into like smart delivery.
Yeah,
right.
That is an amazing feature.
And we all were like, "Oh, why do they have to name this?" Right now we get it. Why they have to name like, and FPS Boost, right? And like things where you're like they're giving us value. Right? They're giving us value. The stuff that we're not having to pay for, but it improves our experience. That's valuable, right? And for me to say like, "Hey, would it be cool if PlayStation or Nintendo had like a Game Pass service," right? Or would it be cool if they had like really good online infrastructure? Would it be cool if they had like these other features that we have on Xbox, where they're kind of in the lead with services and stuff right now? Wouldn't it be cool if Nintendo or PlayStation has that stuff? Yes. Like, why say no? Like, because you're so like think that it's a negative that it's okay for your product to be better, right? I like PlayStation. I like Nintendo. I play every fucking thing, okay? But right now, Xbox is fucking killing it.
They all have their pros and cons. Like, to me, Sony makes some of the best like AAA third person story experiences
And
out there.
single person games, yeah, definitely.
Amazing. I think Xbox provides a really good value for their online services, and their services are amazing. And Nintendo, you know, they're like in their own category almost.
And not only that, Xbox is giving you
company, the worst.
Xbox gives you the best online experience. When you want to get online with your friends and you want to party chat, like Xbox is where it's at. Like, I mean, multiplayer is Xbox. Single player kind of has PlayStation, and not that saying that Nintendo doesn't have single player, because they do have single player, but it's because they have absolutely no online fucking presence at all, because they have shit the bed when it comes to any kind of online functionality at this point. The fact that I can't get on my Nintendo and like party up with somebody without using an app on my phone is absolutely ridiculous. We are in 2021.
Yeah, and you have to put in a 300 code to find a friend,
to find
and then
somebody.
they give you a list to choose from. It's like,
it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And this is coming from somebody who loves Nintendo. Like, if Nintendo came out with this next fucking Switch Pro and was like, hey, we have like an actual functioning online ecosystem, it would blow everybody. Like, Nintendo would be back.
They would be back.
They'd be back. And like, people are saying Nintendo's not dead. They're never gonna fucking die. Like, Nintendo, you know, blah, blah, they have Mario.
Their
and I'm like,
standards are different.
Nintendo has IPs. They have
Zelda.
their people. They have their Mario. They're never gonna run out of money because they have these things that are gonna keep them afloat no matter what. Like, I mean, they're always gonna have a loyal fan base. They're always gonna have all of this shit. They just fucking opened Nintendo Land. Like, I mean, they're not going anywhere, but they're becoming irrelevant when it comes to actual gamers, is what's happening.
Yeah. So
we
that's
as
me,
gamers are just like nobody's like, hey, let's play Mario Kart and hook up on this and this and this, and then, you know, send me your thing. And I mean, it's such a fucking workaround. And maybe that's why fucking Xbox is going for Discord, because they're just like, fuck Nintendo. We're just gonna make it all work in one ecosystem.
Well, here's a thought, right? Like, if they were to eventually put Xbox Game Pass on Switch, maybe Discord could also go on Switch.
Absolutely,
you know, so that you're tying everything in through a third-party application.
I mean,
it just blows my mind that they don't have the functionality to make that happen. Like, what are you doing, Nintendo? Why can't you give me a chat?
So here's a thought.
So easily up their game and give us a like party chat type thing.
Right.
Instead of having to write all these numbers in, then still not being able to find the friend you want to find, and you have to do it so meticulously as well. And it takes ages, and then you still can't really communicate very well.
Imagine a Mario Party with a party and integrated in the game.
If we could get Mario Party 10 into Game Community Night, it would be awesome.
It would be amazing. Nintendo has so much at their fingertips. They have Mario Party. They have Mario Golf is coming out next month. And they have no online functionality. They have Mario Kart. They have all of these awesome local co-op games or co-op games online, and no functionality to actually use them outside of outsourcing. And I just think it blows my mind that they're just like, ho, we're Nintendo and we're never gonna die and we're doing our own thing. And
there's got a big online community
because I love them, and I'm just like,
on it.
I love you so much,
Nintendo.
and I hate you at the same time.
So that's my love-hate relationship with Nintendo too. Because
thank you, Lupa.
You can have the only one that I know of that has got a big online community and they do tournaments is Splatoon. Of all things.
Oh, and Smash. I mean, you can't rule out Smash.
Oh, you
but
can't
you
rule
have
out
to
Smash.
use outsourcing
Yes.
You have to outsource.
To be able to compete and literally hear each other. And I don't know, they really do need to bring something like that. And one of the other things I really want them to do is to make a dedicated home console, not a handheld console.
Right. So Lupa, here's where I was going with this. Okay, where you're saying right now, because this is my dream as well. Now everybody says, okay, yeah, we don't need to do like why Xbox, Nintendo doesn't have to be like Xbox. Nintendo doesn't have to be like this or whatever. Okay, but imagine a world tomorrow. Okay, imagine you wake up tomorrow and Nintendo had a big surprise event, and they announce, hey, coming out this holiday, Nintendo Dreams console, whatever the hell you want to name it, right? And it's an actual console, and it's powerful like a PS5 and an Xbox Series X. And they announced 3 amazing games for it, and they announced that they're going to have a true online infrastructure. They're going to have backwards compatibility for your Switch games, and maybe even give you access to all the Wii games you bought or something. Like, imagine a world where they actually have a true actual console in the vein of a PlayStation or an Xbox, and with all the bells and whistles. Do you not think Nintendo fans would be screaming from the rooftops? Like,
I'd be straight in. You would be straight in 100%. It would rival my Xbox as to, I'm going to have to play half the day Xbox and half the day Nintendo, because that's my dream.
Right. Now, it's not going to happen because they don't have to, right? But we can dream.
No, but like, we can dream.
I mean, there's a reason why whenever Phil Spencer is talking about like putting other games on other platforms, he's basically saying like wherever Game Pass lives is where, those games will go. And it's the reason why he says it like that, to open up potential deals for like Nintendo having Game Pass. He wouldn't say that otherwise. That doesn't make sense to just say that without the intention of putting Game Pass on other platforms like a Switch, like a PS5. He's leaving that option open so that, in the future, because Game Pass it's getting bigger and bigger. But again, I said this like these other episodes, when these companies and all these 23 studios, it's actually like something like 30 if you really factor in this teams within like Bethesda and all these other stuff. It's more like 30 actually. When you factor in all of these games that are going to come within like the next 2 years, it's not going to be fair. And I feel like these other companies are going to be more and more pressured to work with Game Pass. So when he said that, I think these companies are going to look at it and be like, hey, maybe. But at the same time, I know Nintendo is stubborn, Sony's very stubborn, so we'll see. But he says that he's not just saying like, hey, Game Pass lives wherever, or these games will live wherever Game Pass lives, just to be on Xbox and just to be on PC. He's saying that for potential partnerships in the future. I think what we can see in the near future is like Samsung, different TV manufacturers. Like when you buy a TV, Game Pass comes with that TV manufacturer. And I think that's the next thing, like where you can see Game Pass be promoted is through different TV manufacturers, because we already know that Microsoft is working on different sticks that you can, like, sort of like a Fire Stick. You guys buy like an Amazon Fire Stick. What is it? It's like a little HDMI thing. Pretty sure Xbox is working on that. So you will be able to easily, you don't even need an Xbox at that point. You just have a little Game Pass stick, plug it into your TV. Or if your TV already comes with it, it's like a manufacturer thing, then hey, you already got Game Pass on your TV. So that is the future. And when that sort of comes into play, and xCloud, then it's going to be pressuring, I think, Nintendo and Xbox is the reason why Phil said we're not competing against Nintendo or PlayStation. They're kind of competing against these bigger companies who have the potential to do the same thing as Microsoft, because they're $1 trillion. I think today they said they're now competing, they're close to Apple. They're like 2 trillion.
2 trillion.
I wonder if they can just firmware update the TVs that are out there now and like come out with downloads for like, you know, because a lot of the smart TVs are connected to Wi-Fi at home, right? So can they update them just to have the Game Pass app actually pop up on the TVs that you already own? That's a possibility. I wonder.
It is, yeah. But I know that the Switch Pro is being made, yeah, and it's not long to be coming out. And I'm like, why can't you just make a Home Pro if you want? Like, the Switch is great for what it is, but like I want a dedicated Nintendo, like SNES or NES, something like that.
NES, like just that,
like just to be able to have at home. And for me, it would be perfect because that's the way I want to play my games. And it would help Nintendo. And I do love the games, but I love to play with family. That's a blast. But the grandkids and etc. That's a blast. But I want to be playing with other friends in the community that like to play Nintendo too, and enjoy it that way also. So I don't think they're going to change their ballpark. It's just the way they are. So
yeah,
I just think reality. I agree. Like I think they're so set in their ways that it's like
hard to change.
When are we going to see these changes? And it's so hard to grasp it as a Nintendo fan, like as somebody who loves it. Like I feel like there's so many options right now for Nintendo. There's so much immersion that they could be giving us as players, and they're just not giving it to us. And that's why I'm not upset, but I'm like, I don't understand why, because I see companies like Xbox who are listening to their community. They're listening to, what needs to be done.
Yeah.
But then Nintendo community, they don't really fucking complain either. They're like so happy with what they're getting too. And I'm like, why is everybody
get a Mario game that you can buy for 3 months?
It's the weirdest thing. It's the
so weird sometimes. I'm like, why is everybody like all they do is play Nintendo, so they don't like play the other consoles, I think. And I'm just like, no, like we shouldn't be okay with what we have. Like we should not be okay with not having.
But they have such a different fan base. It really comes down to like you critiquing that company till they make those changes, and not just accepting those, and I feel like a lot of
different
Nintendo
there.
fans,
it's also just different there.
It is very different.
That's finally starting to happen with PlayStation, though, right? Like we're seeing the tide finally shift where people are saying, and I think that's because Xbox is making such a big presence that it is felt, right? And beforehand, it was just like, hey, like everything's gravy, everything's gravy here. But now you see something to compare it to, and it doesn't seem as gravy anymore. And that was like the whole point of what I was bringing up. It's just like this happened to
I went on a rant.
The bad thing is if you've got like people playing Monster Hunter on the Switch, and they are struggling to get their friends to be able to play with them, and then on the Xbox, you can play Monster Hunter and have a group of friends play with you, and it's great fun. I don't think people are going to choose to go and play that game or any other large game like that on the Switch when they can play it on an Xbox. Why would they?
Yeah, I mean,
I play co-op local on my Switch. That's it.
Yeah,
that's all I do.
It wasn't until the PS4 where PlayStation even got party chat. I think people forget that. Like PS4 is when they had actual like party chat.
Oh yeah.
PS3 they didn't even have it. So it like Xbox has like a very good online system.
That's what I said earlier. Xbox hits it out of the park with that shit.
Yeah, and I think Nintendo is in they're in a very interesting position because they don't really need to improve that much because people aren't really asking them to. And it's kind of like a toy company. They really remind me of like different toy companies because that's kind of what they are in a way. They never really discount their games.
It's gimmicky.
They do have like gimmicks, but
said
they
that
also
today.
have freaking amazing games. It's weird. Nintendo's in like the most unique position compared to Sony and Xbox, because Xbox is in a position where they're trying to prove themselves because of the last generation. They're like, hey, we got Game Pass. Look at this amazing deal. You're getting such an awesome discount. We have the most powerful system. We're going to prove that, so they're proving themselves in that regard. PlayStation's like, we're on top. We don't really need to prove much right now. You know what to expect with us. That's kind of where they are right now. They're going back to that cocky thing with PS3. It seems like, but with Nintendo, they are in a very interesting position because again, they're kind of like a toy company. And I don't know, their online isn't the best, but they make such good games.
There's no online.
They make their online is weak. It's not
There's no online. Like they literally have no online functionality. Like when you're playing with other players, there's nothing. Like there's nothing. It's so weird. No, that's wrong. Because in Animal Crossing, I can go to your island and I can grab my phone and I can pull up the app, and then I can pull up the Animal Crossing app through the app, and then I can pull up a chat to talk to you to where something pops up around my head when I'm on.
No, I think they do that because of like Nintendo's like based towards kids, so you don't actually have like a gamer tag. You have like a friend code.
I hate that. I mean, I hate that people are like, it's based towards kids because they're like, it's a kid console. I'm like,
but
sorry.
like games like Roblox and stuff are based towards kids, and they have Minecraft. That's like fucking Xbox.
Yeah. No, I don't see that as being an excuse for them. Like that is not something that I feel like you can excuse your behavior.
Yeah, it's not an excuse. It's just
your
something,
children that the children
I get what
that grew
saying.
up with you. Because all of us, we're not children anymore, and you need to fucking get with the times.
He's explaining why they're coming up with their wrong thinking.
I know. Yeah. I mean, I get it. I don't like it.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks because I'm thinking with the next Nintendo console that because NVIDIA produces the Nintendo machines, like we have AMD for Sony and Microsoft, right? But NVIDIA does Nintendo. I'm thinking if I was an NVIDIA, I would want to really prove and compete against AMD with the next Switch. So I'm thinking with Switch Pro, that's where they'll bring it a little bit more. But then Nintendo's so stubborn with Switch. Like even with the Switch, they're just like, this is good enough, So I'm hoping they don't have that attitude. But with the Switch Pro, they allow NVIDIA to really do their thing. I don't really know, but
well, basically, from what I heard, you're going to get an OLED type screen, and you're going to get approximately half a centimeter larger screen, and that's pretty much about it.
That's exactly it, and that's
and they're just going basic.
That bothers me because like just for the future, like with Xbox, when I buy a game, I'm like, oh, in the future, this probably will be upgraded. I know I'm like safe with like where it's going and all that. But with Switch, I never know. I'm like,
you never know. And the fucking shittiest part about like Switch, like at this point, like Nintendo, the part that like really hurts me to my core is the fact that they are still releasing Joy-Cons with drift after like 3 months, and I'm just like, why are we still releasing them when I have to send them back to you in like 3 months? And not only that, you're making me pay $80 for them. Like,
Yeah.
if I want to replace it. And they have said that there are Joy-Con mechanics for the next console. They didn't even fucking look at it. They didn't even fix it. Like, why? I just, yeah, I don't know.
Can y'all hear that like weird music coming from the other room right now? Okay,
No.
just making sure. My daughter's playing something weird. I don't know what it is.
Dude, my kid had me listening
Playing
to
some
like
ska music, bro.
I'm sorry,
know
but
what that
ska is where it's at. That's my jam.
That's what I'm saying.
It sounds like a mix between Barney and reggae.
It might be those what is it? The sea songs, shanties.
Yeah.
Oh, they're all the rage. Shanties. Apparently, sea shanties are all the rage.
Sea shanties.
And I know this podcast is called Xbox Ultimate, right? We're talking about Nintendo, PlayStation, but like I think again there are pros and cons to like all different consoles, and like Nintendo makes amazing games. I just want to say that like they make friggin' amazing games.
Games, yeah.
I'm just in a position probably how maybe Pong is fair, I don't know, where I want to see like,
I like
4K.
Nintendo guys.
I want to see freaking 4K. I want to see like 60.
What?
Like,
it's not even that. Games. It's like the lower texture details and stuff. We were talking about this the other night when we were playing Outriders.
That doesn't even bother me.
That bothers me.
It does
like,
for
like
it bothers me too.
It like Astral
like,
Chain, these games I get excited about, and it's like you play them and it's like, hey, this looks kind of like ass. You know what I mean?
After playing with the Series X, I'm just spoiled with like how games look. I don't know, but like
I'm not gonna play a game that I can get on the Series X on my Switch. Like that's not something I'm like, oh man, I can get this on my Switch. Like I'm not gonna go buy fucking Immortals on my Switch when I can buy it on another console. But I mean I can't fucking buy Mario anywhere else, and I think fucking.
Yeah. But the appeal of Switch to me is I can play anywhere. Like I can like I don't know, play upstairs and just play any game on my little screen. And
I can't because
cool
my
thing.
Joy-Cons are fucking up. So sorry, still salty.
Yeah.
So Nintendo will fix it one day.
I know. I just
one day.
It's just crazy to see the path that all of the fucking they're going down these paths. Like you have Nintendo, who's always been veering. And then you had PlayStation and Xbox on their own path. And then this past generation or these past few years, it's been like Xbox making their own path, PlayStation having their path, and Nintendo having their path. So it's like now we have all of these other things to where everybody's not looking at the same end goal. And I think that's what we all have to look at as gamers. It's like not all of us are like they're not looking at the same end goal. Everybody has something for everybody, and it's just amazing.
It feels well with me like PlayStation's kind of sticking with their traditional ways and kind of keeping what they do and what they're comfortable with. And Xbox is going outside of the wheelhouse with
they're creating new norms for sure.
Yeah,
like,
most definitely.
It wasn't normal to put games on PC. Like that wasn't a thing.
And definitely with xCloud and it's having the ability with auto HDR and those little features that are they're not huge, but once you have them, you can't live without them almost now. They're like they're essential to the gaming experience, especially with older games. So Nintendo is they were being stepping outside the box with the Wii, and then the Switch was cool how it was like a hybrid of handheld.
It was something different. I mean, I give them that, but so was the Wii U. So,
but they need to but it wasn't you got customers and people that are like, okay, we liked it, but can we get a dedicated console, a dedicated hardware machine that I can plug in and get the best playing experience that I can get out of the with playing with Mario and Zelda. And I would love.
Do you remember how people shit their pants when they said Skyrim was coming to Switch, and everybody thought they were getting a Skyrim fucking experience on the Switch, and then
Yeah,
was just a fucking shit show. Like,
Witcher 3 also, and then
yeah.
Have you tried playing Fortnite on the
Forgot about
Switch
that
compared to Fortnite on the
No,
Xbox?
Mm-mm.
Apex
No,
Legends
I
just
Would
launched.
never
never
had a
play a
Switch.
game
Is it like 30
like they
frames?
do
or what?
Assassin's Creed.
I
on
have a
Switch.
kid who plays Fortnite on the Switch with like a fucked up controller and dripped and still like does amazing. And I'm like, I don't even know what's wrong with you, but you're doing something right, dude.
They make amazing games. I just want a better something to play them on.
Mm-hmm.
Anything
That's
that
all.
is on Xbox and Switch, I would always play on Xbox. I would never go and play good games on the Switch because you're just
that's any console for
losing
me.
everything that you have on the
Yeah.
Xbox by playing it on the Switch. But
Yep.
the
Yeah,
Switch
but we're
games
talking.
themselves, I will
Yeah.
play those
Xboxes.
games.
Yeah, exactly. Games like Zelda, games like Mario, Metroid, those games that you cannot play anywhere else. Yes, we're the ones that do have the Switch, and they're going to play them, and Nintendo knows that, and that's why they keep doing what they're doing, because they know
I
that
have an
they can go
Xbox
nowhere.
that I love, but Breath of the Wild was one of the best games for me ever made because they upped the ante so much, and I think Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be awesome. And I've played every damn Zelda game that ever came out, so I know what I'm talking about with like I had the biggest bug for me with Nintendo is that I'm the worst consumer friendly gaming console, because I had a Wii, I then upgraded to the Wii U, and I could port my Wii games to my Wii U, but not vice versa. But when I went to the Switch, I had to give away over 250 games that I'd paid all that money for. And believe you me, Nintendo rarely have a sale, so they're all like $60-$50. And I had to give the lot away and now, well, how many thousands of pounds is that, damn?
Well,
And
Nintendo
now
holds
I've got
their
to
value, so yeah.
Then I've got to repurchase them all again. I gave it away because I gave it to my grandchildren. But the point I'm making is, now when they come over here, they want to still play the Nintendo. So I had to go buy a Switch because I wanted a Switch to play Breath of the Wild on. And now all those games, I've got like about 10 games on there now.
There's so many amazing Switch games, and I'm not holding back Nintendo in that point because Luigi's Mansion, fucking amazing, fantastic fucking game.
That's a great game.
Odyssey, Mario Odyssey, another one, like fucking top-notch shit, like great stuff.
Loved Odyssey too.
Yeah, I mean they don't. It's not like the shit that they're coming out with is bad, but I get it.
I like the games where you can, like the 3D, like Odyssey, and then you've got like Zelda Breath of the Wild. Those are the games that I invest in. Mario Kart and Mario Party and things like that, because
Mario Party.
Yeah, I mean Mario Party, me and my husband have a blast playing it, even when the kids aren't here. But mainly when the kids are playing that, it is so funny to watch them get so into it. And they are really good games. I just wish they were on a better console.
Why? What's the point of?
Yep. I mean, I'll just end on this because I know.
I know you guys. You guys in chat have stayed so long. Thank you.
My gosh, I
listen to us fucking rant about Nintendo and stuff. This is
I'll put this out there real quick before you end on this 3-bit.
Yeah.
We only say these things because we actually care enough to want to experience this, not because we want to dog on it. We want something that because we love it, right? Not because we hate it.
Exactly.
That's the point, and that's what some people miss the boat on. Like when you can say, hey, I wish this had this, or I wish they did this because that would be cool. Doesn't mean you think what they're doing sucks, like to the point where you don't enjoy it.
I hope no one's taking our conversations and just being like, we hate Nintendo, because that is not the case. I freaking love Nintendo games, and it's kind of like when we critiqued Xbox. If you guys go back to, I don't know what episode that was, but me, Paul, Mav, Kaitlin, everybody was basically talking about how the whole Xbox Live thing kind of sucked when they increased the price, right? So we're critiquing like that was a bad decision. And
Mhm.
during the podcast, they were like, "Oh, actually, we're reversing
yeah, they
that
heard
decision."
us. They were like, "Hey,
Right?
those guys said it was
Yeah.
bad. We must make a decision right now
Like
and change it."
literally during the podcast, they reversed it. So when we're talking about like all these different stuff that we want change within Nintendo or PlayStation, it's just we want the best for it. Like there are things I love about PlayStation, there are things I love about Xbox and Nintendo. We are basically just critiquing and trying to make it as best as we can, because there's a lot of Nintendo fans who don't speak on that stuff and they just sort of allow it. Like,
So
yes, I'll
weird.
pay
I know we talked
$60,
about it. I'm so
$70, never discounted.
I
you know.
am the same exact person though. So I'm like, it's so weird, but here I am buying everything. So
Yeah. So
Yeah.
when we're all talking about it, I just wanted like a disclaimer for I'm speaking for all of you. Where we are all just passionate about games, and we all love games, and we want the best for it. And this is just our way of stating the problems, so that way that they're out in the light, and then maybe someone will see it, and then here we are, and we get better products.
absolutely.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah. Next month we're gonna have Mario Golf, and we're all gonna meet up in Discord and play Mario Golf.
No, not me, because I don't have a Switch.
Heck
So
yeah.
Oh, I actually have three
I sold
three
mine
Switch
recently.
lights and 2 docked Switches. So I mean, I definitely know my Nintendo. I'm not.
No, if
I've
Nintendo
had
had like a
Nintendo console, and the Switch is the best of the bunch, but I still.
Oh,
feel
the
right
3DS
that
is the
give
best
all
of the
my
bunch.
games on-
3DS is the best
Yeah,
of the bunch.
the
But yeah.
3DS, playing all my Zelda games on the 3DS.
Oh, that was
You
good
could only
shit.
get them on the 3DS at the time, was awesome.
Good shit. Playing Ocarina of Time on the 3DS.
Yeah.
My
Oh,
fucking
freaking
lord.
awesome.
You can't.
Good
beat
job,
it.
Nintendo. It's the last time I patted you on the back. No.
it
Was
would
it
be
2DS
nice
or-
if
HD remake of Twilight Princess. on
Twilight Princess.
the-
The fact that they
on
went
the
with
Wii.
Sword.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. We could have a whole Nintendo podcast.
Yeah, it's
Lupa,
literally-
let's do it.
There's
Me and
literally
you,
so much
lady.
I can say about Nintendo. That's its own show. So I think
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
will
sorry.
shut
We
up.
took over. I took over.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
that's
really-
what
We know you guys
that's
wanna play
that's
it.
why we have you here.
It would just be nice.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It'd be
Yeah.
nice if Nintendo had like a Game Pass, and they had something that would come along, something along the lines of a Game Pass. That would be awesome. But until then, until they decide to do something like that, or have
Actually, they do. It's similar.
No, it's not.
No.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, last time I checked, they didn't.
Too
But
soon.
okay.
Too soon.
Okay.
Triggered.
Relax.
So funny.
Relax.
Hey, we're allowed to have our own
Bring a
opinions
mud pie to a
and our
pie
own
show.
wishes. So we'll just hope we get something.
Actually,
Oh jeez, dude.
I'm not wrong, Pong. I'm not wrong. All
I'm
right.
gonna interrupt you right there. To let you know, I disagree with you.
Am I wrong?
She did it, so now
Yeah.
you're wrong.
You're wrong.
It's nothing like it.
Wow.
Seriously, thank you everybody
You guys
in
are
chat for
crazy.
staying this long and
Yes,
listening
thank you,
to
chat.
me rant.
You guys
I
are
am so
awesome.
sorry. I'm so sorry that I went that far.
Hey,
into
you're
it.
fine. I expect that after the third bottle or so.
Yell louder.
Look it. 1, 2,
Just
3.
kidding.
Thank you, Hertog.
5, 6,
Thank you, buddy.
8 seltzers.
I'll be in there.
What was she gonna say?
Hey, can we get a
Psycho?
Skies of Arcadia?
Get it?
Can we get a?
Maybe.
Huh?
Maybe come
Okay.
Oh my god, can you imagine? There's so
love
many
us
like
Skies of
fucking
Arcadia.
amazing Nintendo games from the past that I'm just like, yeah, do it. Let's
Yeah.
do it up. But then they just
Give me
brought
a-
back like I was so excited for fucking Ghosts and Goblins.
Hey, here's hoping, lady. Be on the lookout. They'll probably release another batch of 3 of them again that you can buy for 3 months. So be
I'm
excited about
excited.
that.
I have them.
So one of
I own 'em.
Zelda anniversary, like they did for Mario,
Yeah.
because I want Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and maybe Wind Waker or
it would be Wind Waker
Twilight
for me.
Princess.
It would be Wind Waker, Twilight
Yeah.
Princess, and Majora's Mask. That's my
Those
my
are the
three
I
pack.
want in
Please,
there.
let's
Yes,
make it happen.
This is the Nintendo Desires podcast. So where we talk about all of our desires for Nintendo and give our hopes and dreams to put them into reality. Hey guys, thanks everybody in the chat for hanging out. I know this is a longer than usual show, but it's because we just have lots to say. We got passionate people here who love games and they want to talk about them. But shout out everybody in the chat. Y'all are awesome. Again, thank you. So I want to give all of us a chance. I don't know where 3-Bit went, so we'll probably skip his outro. Just kidding.
I can do it for him.
I want to give everybody a chance to say goodbye.
We went to Japan real quick.
Baby.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Where can people see you? I would tell them about your streaming stuff.
Me?
Yeah.
I got a computer coming at the end of this month.
I thought it came.
No, it's coming like on the 20-something. And I'm going to start streaming, I think. I am. I'm nervous, but I am. And you can find me on Twitter at Kaitlin X0615 and here on Fridays. That's about it.
Cool.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's a cool fucking person.
T-shirts, ultimate T-shirts. I had to laugh. They said I would receive it by the 14th to 15th of April. I thought, yeah.
Really? That seems pretty.
Are they in the UK?
Seems pretty fairly quick, actually. All right. Also, let's see here. We got Lady.
That's me. You can find me. Yeah. Hi. Hello.
That's still you, Lady.
You can find me at lady_AF. That's LAIDY_AF on Twitter. You can find me on Wednesdays at Game and Beyond the Box. Tuesdays at Po-Man Show or Noobs and Pros. I am often, almost all the time lately, I'm pretty much a full-time panelist there. And then here, because these people invited me, I don't know why, Mav is regretting it.
No, I'm not. 100% not.
You can find me here on Fridays. And then, yeah, that's about where you can find me around the block and doing things. So.
This is like just a chillest outro.
I'm a new kid on the
That's
block.
Doing things around the block.
Doing things around the block. By the way, guys, also check out if you want to play Halo. I got a pizza coming as soon as it gets here. I'm gonna hop back on and play some Halo Master Chief Collection. If anybody wants to join us, you can have some great times with us and experience some of what you heard on the Rocket League video. Probably it gets crazy. I hope you guys, anybody that can join us, appreciate that. All right, Lupa.
Yes,
the extraordinary
you can find
Lupa.
Me at Assassin Lupa on the Xbox Ultimate Podcast every Friday, 2 a.m. UK time, 9 p.m. Eastern. You can catch me as Assassin Lupa on Twitter and on Xbox and Casual Gaming Guys. And I'm going to be a mod on, I'm already a mod on about 3 podcasts, and I'm going to be a mod on the 4th. New show coming up 26th of April, starring KY Bob and Primus Gaming, however you want to call it.
Nice.
And another, I think. And they're starting at midnight my time, 7 p.m. Eastern on Mondays.
Awesome.
Looking
forward to that.
KY Bob's good people.
I think it's called Xbox Series Series Show, because it's XSS, I think it is. Yeah.
Right on. Okay, Psychonauts.
And occasionally on Flamish.
Oh, Flamish Experience. Yeah, check out Flamish Experience, guys. That's on Sundays. Around, I think it's 3 p.m. Eastern. I think, is that right?
Yeah. It's about 7 p.m. my time. So it's about
2 p.m. Eastern.
3 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, something
PM.
like that. All right, Psychonauts.
Yes, you're right. 2 p.m.
Mellow fellow. What's up, dude?
Yes.
Where
What's going
are
on?
you at?
You guys can find me on Twitter, championing Skies of Arcadia. And
Yeah, her talk Vin's a big
and-
Skies of Arcadia fan, so am I.
yeah, I know. No, and then you can on Xbox Live at Psychonauts 8. I actually started a new club called Gamer Chat Live, and kind of where people get together and just share experiences and things like that. You know, good place. So you can find me on Thursdays on Fun Pop at 10:30 p.m. and here every Friday at 9 with these amazing people. I love you guys. You're the best. I
Wow.
still, you know, I still get freaking goosebumps just knowing that I'm on this panel with you guys. You guys are amazing. So love you guys. And yeah, and that's it, man.
No, you've forgotten something, Psycho. And you will catch him playing It Takes Two every day for weeks until we
Nice.
completed it.
Do it. Do it. I believe in you guys. You got this.
I
Yes,
wanna
there
play
too.
with-
This is like the
I can't
smallest
get
picture ever.
Psycho in there to play with me.
Go play Psycho.
Psycho, do it.
I am. Whenever when we have a moment that we can,
I've
then
always
I will.
got a moment though.
I know,
More
but I'm
you
That's never had
Psycho.
but
one.
I've been lately. I've been sleepy because I've been going to bed earlier and waking up, you know, earlier. So it's like
My schedule is screwed up.
Psycho's
You know,
trying to
I'm-
fucking fix his nighttime schedule.
yeah, because before I would stay up until like 8 fucking o'clock in the morning the next day, and I'm like, my
Which is
life
perfect
is
for
horrible.
Lupa.
Sorry.
Yeah, well, yeah, but you know, it
Yeah,
doesn't.
you
It's
need
just
to-
really-
holding
need to
me
get
back,
Hold
and
well
I
for me.
desperately want to play it and finish it.
I
I'm like
know.
so on
Fix your schedule
edge.
afterwards, Psycho.
I know,
You got
right?
this.
When you're done,
You got
then you
this.
can sleep
Mom!
on another
You're done.
player, damn it.
I was one of the first
You're up.
people that said I wanted to play It Takes Two. I was like, and now I'm so far behind, and everybody else has completed it.
I wish I was still playing it. If that means
That's
anything.
for you.
And
Her
after
Todd.
I finish with you, I'm meant to be replaying it with Noof Nukem.
Don't do it.
Yes.
And then
No.
there's somebody else said play it with me after that, and I can't remember who it was.
I want to go back and play it, but like, there's no way in my mind
Infinite.
I
I
can
think
do
it
it.
was Infinite.
Infinite.
it was-
I think
I
you
think
might
it
be
was
right.
Infinite.
Yeah.
I don't think playing it with somebody else is going to be
Well,
thing.
they
amazing.
want to play it, and they haven't got anybody to play it with, and I just can't not let them experience it.
Guess I would do
because
it. I
it's
guess
so
I would do
awesome.
it. And
Yeah.
just
Like
not-
if I don't know, like maybe it'll be a different experience playing.
I don't know
as
how
the
to
other
tell
character.
people not what to do.
Yeah, it would be like a
Yeah.
whole new experience if you
It
played
really
as
would.
the other character.
Yes.
Because
think
it's
so.
definitely.
Yeah.
I played with Dealer the other night, one part, just the castle part, and I
You were
ended
May?
up playing as Mav because he wanted to play the guy, and it was a completely different experience of playing with Psychonauts when I was the guy and he was the gal. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think you could play it through a second time. And
Oh,
Just
May
by
it's
the
has
way
awesome.
that
some
guy
really
runs.
cool abilities. All right, I was like, when I saw you, Mav and Lady in 3-bit, when you guys were playing, when playing with May, having the fire matchsticks and all that, I was like, okay, I want to play as May because, you know, I want to, you know, shoot things.
Yeah, I was
Things.
freaking jealous. See, she had some freaking.
I know.
Yeah, she's got the better
abilities.
weapons. Yeah,
That's
for
why he
sure.
was so mad at me all the time.
Yeah, I'm like, what the heck?
Mhm.
She gets like
All
a
right.
missile, and I get like a little glob gun.
All right,
Yeah,
Pong, where can we
Pong.
find
Yeah,
you?
Pong. Sorry, Pong. We took over the
Sorry.
outro.
I'm loving the discussion. This is a big group of family getting together and having a barbecue and
True.
talking shit. So whatever,
Oh,
man.
I'd
This
love
is
it if I
great.
It's
could meet all
Xbox
you
Party
guys.
Chat.
It
It
is.
would be awesome
Yeah.
if I could meet all you guys and have a barbecue. That would be
Exactly.
Oh, that'd be
well,
awesome.
We'll
Dude, I
probably
would
gonna
make
we'll
the
fly
best
you
food.
out. to
Caitlin and I
States.
would
It
fucking
can't
fuck
happen
that
'cause I can't
barbecue.
fly.
we
I'm not
gotta
allowed to
fly
We
you.
would.
We're gonna
We
fly.
so would.
We're gonna fly
Oh my
you
God.
to Georgia, Lupa, so you can hang out. You can 3-bit's gonna pick you up at the airport, and then he's gonna
Okay,
drive
sure.
around and pick all of us
Okay.
up in his mom's party bus.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I would love to join in, but I'm not
Yeah, why
allowed to
not?
fly.
Aw. We'll
okay.
sail.
We would
We'll
come
sail too.
there.
We'll send a boat.
We'll just have to come to the
If
UK.
We'll send a
I've
boat.
always
Boat.
wanted to
Send a
visit.
boat.
We'll get you a ticket on the Titanic. Don't worry.
Yeah, because if I hire you,
You
on
heard
a
it's
cruise,
safe.
You could all jump on and come over here.
Just take a cruise. No, we'll all jump.
Hire a captain for like $5.
Does
I
that-
can't fly either,
gets
so
Does that
somebody would have
party?
to sedate me.
Does that party bus float?
Same.
Hey,
Maybe.
we could all take a cruise and just go visit Rick Payne.
Hey,
All in Rick Payne's.
we gotta pick. We gotta swing by and pick up Rick on the way. You know.
Yeah. The Xbox Ultimate World Tour.
All right, Pong, where can we find you? Come on.
And this
tell
week
us.
we're doing it from Lupa's Lounge.
Lupa's
Washing
Lounge.
machine.
Just
Yeah.
Yeah.
On washing machines.
Extra spin cycle.
And you can find me.
Where can we
Catch
find
you all
Pong?
gaming. All right.
All right, Pong, baby, go.
Yeah. Where can we find you, Pong?
take over.
Tomorrow
Do it.
morning, guys, Saturday morning, living split screen. Me and Steel Rain are
Yes.
waking you up. I don't know if any of these guys will be up, but we'll be up. Me and Steel.
Hey, I've been up.
Yeah,
I'll
you
try.
have been, Psycho. That's true.
I've been up
So
for the second
10
half.
Living split screen, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central time. Tomorrow, me and Steel, we're just going to talk, and who knows what we're going to talk about tomorrow, but we'll see. But love to see you guys all there. We just hit 100 subscribers. Thank you guys so much.
Congrats on that,
amazing
man.
time. Yeah, thank you. Thank
Doing
you.
well, Pong.
It's been amazing. Again, this community, I love you all. You guys are just fantastic. So see you guys there tomorrow morning. Tomorrow you get a triple dose. So Dragon's Den, Lemon, 108 Dragons. Tomorrow night, myself and Steel, it's going to be living split screen on there at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. And then right after that, you can find me on the Shop Podcast with PTK Blam, Centurion, Fuzzy Belvedere, and Stagorilla. And that starts at 9 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow. And then Tuesday, Xbox Factor Podcast with Mr. Boomstick and Zemi Games. So I shall see you all there. That starts at 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 o'clock
108
Central
Dragon
time.
invited me on to the show.
Yeah. Dragon.
Lemon.
He's
amazing.
Good
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, he's a great
know.
guy.
Yeah, he is. He's an awesome dude. So
108
So that's where you can all
Dragon.
find me. Who's next?
Awesome.
3-bit.
I think it's 3-bit.
Caitlin, oh yeah.
You can find 3-bit in
Are
France.
we?
and-
Is this a thing now? We choose which.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna pick and choose tonight.
Next
Yeah.
episode.
You
next
guys
episode,
handle
we're all
it.
gonna
You guys
draw
just
All right,
figure it
next-
out.
next
Just figure it out amongst
episode.
yourselves.
I guess I'll go. You guys can find me on the Xbox Factor every Thursday, here every Friday, and also Fun Pop every Thursday.
Not every Thursday apparently.
No, you weren't there last week. And we found your
tried.
replacement.
Not every Thursday. He's busy.
Not,
okay,
um,
guys. He's
some
busy.
Replace
Thursday.
3-bit. Hashtag replace 3-bit. Started.
Did you just call him three?
Freaking
Brit?
steal.
3-bit.
three
Brit.
Brit. Hey, I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna
Freaking,
replace 3-bit with a 3 Brit. So the next week this guy's gonna have a British accent.
Every
I'm an animator. I'm an animator for.
Can you spare some?
And he still showed up for chat.
I
too.
used to work for
That's the best part.
Lionhead Studios.
Hey, I
That's
showed
like
up for
Australia.
chat, and I was there in spirit. Okay,
Yeah.
I know.
I was there.
You were.
Watching your replacement.
Watching Steel do
It was really good.
Yeah. Steel's
do
awesome.
a better job than me. Yeah. Yeah, you guys can find me on that, and also you'll see a couple of videos this week. Hopefully, I have a couple of animation videos I'm really trying to finish. It's going to be really funny if I can finish it. It's kind of the continuation of the Satya Phil legacy. So
Oh, that's
part
what you're
2 of
working
that.
on.
I started it, but I don't know.
I saw your little Sonic babies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
Baby
freaking
children.
I love my little
Little
chows.
puppies.
Little child babies.
I don't know why that's my most liked freaking thing on Twitter. That's crazy. People liking my child babies, but they are so awesome.
Forgot about that.
They're so sweet, and maybe I'll podcast or do a little more streams on them.
I forgot we were
But,
gonna have a special guest this week.
Huh?
What
We'll
do
do
we
it.
have?
We'll do it
What?
next week. We'll have them on next week.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who is
Maybe
it?
got a special guest next week.
You'll see.
I have a special guest for you.
Are you talking about Almond Child Baby?
Yeah, I'm talking about Almond Child Baby.
Some almond child.
Almond.
Almond Child Baby.
I don't think he remembers
It's 3
this.
Bits Pony.
Yeah.
Listen.
Was the 3-bit pony eating the almond child?
He has.
I almost just spit up on my fucking keyboard.
Almond.
I imagine the fucking pony eating. Oh no! All right, 3-bit. That was fan-fucking-tastic.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, are you done with your outro?
This show.
Hey.
I choose Did Psycho already go? I was gone.
Yes.
You were the last one.
Hasn't gone.
Okay, go ahead, man.
Hi, everybody.
Some reason he got us all together, guys. I'm sorry.
No,
This is what
you
I
need to be eating some broccoli with that.
For sure.
My master plan is coming to fruition. All of you are fulfilling your purpose perfectly.
Lupa, I made him chug 2 glasses of water before he even started. Don't worry.
Yeah, I might need to. We'll see.
You guys freaking rock. Chat, you freaking rock. You can check me out on Twitter at Fun Speculation. Here on YouTube that you see right now.
Before you go, play that intro. Play that intro one more time. Sorry, that intro is so good. I need people to see it.
All right, so as a request, in the middle of my outro, I will play. I will play the intro.
I'm sorry, man.
No, you're okay. People already see where I'm at right now, so they don't really know where to find me. But I will say this: check out Xbox Ultimate Podcast on Spotify. Also, Fun Pop is on Spotify. It's on Apple Podcasts as well. All those things. Appreciate you guys so much. But before we do say goodbye, here again.
Well, let's just say bye and then do that.
Bye, bitches.
Bye.
Okay. Toodaloo. Check out
Halo.
Later.
We're gonna play Halo. See you guys on Halo.
Yeah,
I know
Halo,
you guys
Master Chief Collection.
Bye.
I don't have friends. I got family.
This is Steve Downs, the voice of Master Chief, Sierra 117. And you're watching Xbox Ultimate. Now, finish the fight. Chief out.
And hey, welcome to X. I'm just fucking kidding. Hey, you guys, take it easy. Have a great one. Bye.
Bye, guys.
I've been relegated
See you in a
to
week.
last.